Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Life's But a Song, a podcast likes to live in the land of musicals. I'm your host, John, and with me today, well, I have a lot of guests on today. I wanted to revive the first milestone episode that we've done, which was discussing musical moments and non-musical TV and film. And so I reached out to our pool of guests, and 14 of them reached out to do different segments. So let's get started, shall we?
Hi, I'm Christy Adams. I'm really excited to be back. I was here for Glee.
And we're here today to talk about
The Office, Season 7, Episode 3, which is Andy's play.
Okay, so Andy's play. I have to say, which I told you via email, I have never seen The Office before.
Which I can't believe.
Which I get that's the response I get a lot. But this was like a fun episode to plop into. Because, I mean, they kind of tell you like what's happening, you know, with all the different stories going on.
Yeah, I feel like you don't have to have seen the other 7 seasons in order to jump in here, which is kind of great because they are very explicit as it goes.
Like, I've seen the memes and I kind of know who's who, and it's actually very fascinating watching the show now, realizing where their careers went. And
Yeah,
everything.
oh my gosh, yeah. Especially Steve Carell.
Yeah, well, and then John Krasinski
John Chris, yeah,
and
yep.
Mindy Kaling and all of
Ray
them.
Wilson, yeah, all of them.
Yes. Which, okay. So let's start with this. So the premise of this episode is that they're doing that Ed Helms' character Andy.
Yes, Andy Bernard.
He's in a community theater production of Sweeney Todd, where, okay, it's very fascinating the songs that they chose to use in this episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I loved the Ballad of Sweeney Todd being sung throughout, and I was just like, oh, is it gonna just be this throughout the whole? Because there's a lot of them in the show. So
Yeah, oh yeah. That's because that's Sondheim.
that is, but it was very funny, like how they did like the immersive, what is it called? The publicity or whatever they did.
Oh, viral marketing, I think
The
they
viral
call
marketing,
it.
yes.
Yes, yes.
Where I was like, more shows need to do this.
Yeah, well, it's so funny because, I mean, first of all, go back and watch the other 7 seasons, John, because the show's amazing.
I'll add it to
But
the
knowing,
ever-growing list.
yes, I get it. I totally get that. But what's funny is knowing the characters for 7 seasons, you're expecting these crazy reactions because you wouldn't expect from Andy Bernard, Ed Helms' character. You expect this. This is totally normal for him. But the reactions are glorious in that cold open. And that's why it's so good that he just comes in with his full cast to get all of his coworkers to come to the show. It's just amazing.
So, okay, so this is a good jumping off question for you then, because obviously you've seen the series. Is he like the theater girly of the bunch, or is this just like a one-off
No,
thing?
he is very much the theater girly. He is if you follow, he went to Cornell, which he talks about regularly. He was in an a cappella group, which he's very proud of. And
Okay.
the entire run of the 9 seasons, he continues to talk about how he never made it, but he feels like he should have had his shot as a performer. And so this is very much in the vein of this character, which is great.
Because I have to say that, like, when we get to the actual performance, the of them doing Sweeney Todd, all like, he was fine until he brought his cell phone on stage, and I was just like, how dare you? But all the things that go wrong were very relatable for us in the know-how. Like, we've worked in theater, we've done professional community, any educational theater. So, like, somebody's cell phone going off and they start ad-libbing on stage. I was just like, yeah, I mean, Patti LuPone will yell at you, or you just start ad-libbing.
And both of those things happen in
And
this episode.
yeah, and then like with Steve Carell's character, when he like the build up, I have to say, to that climactic everything going wrong, where he brought balloons and then they started popping, and then he has
The wine bottle
wine
rolling
bottle.
down in the middle of the scene. It just
I was just sitting there like, yeah, I feel like I've experienced this or have heard stories of similar, maybe not balloons, but
it's very much in the vein of the show, the play that goes wrong. I feel like
yes.
that you have to be a theater person to appreciate the episode, especially, for example, the name of the director who catches him during intermission is Shelby Thomas Weems, which all these directors have these 3 names, like Jason Robert Brown.
Yeah.
There's just so many inside jokes that if you're a theater person, you get in the episode.
They got a ringer and he's a plumber who didn't even audition. Like,
so good. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
but it's also interesting, like the songs that they chose to showcase from Sweeney Todd, because like I don't know how it works, but I'm assuming they had to like purchase the rights to all of the show.
They had to. Yeah, I mean, when we used to have to get the rights from MTI, or Concord is another one, which I'm still doing. I'm a dean at a college and I oversee theater. And so anytime you have to apply for anything, even if you want to do just a concert version of something, you have to pay for that.
Right.
So I'm sure that NBC pulled out all the stops to get the rights for the production for this. Because even in the overture, there's conversation by Daryl where he says, "You can't talk during the overture. We're going to miss the themes when they come back." It's like, again, you have to be a theater person to appreciate that. It's so good.
And I'm assuming Andy's playing Anthony.
100%. I think that's why they chose what they chose. He's singing the Joanna song, and that's why the whole By the Sea song, I think, is done by Mrs.
Yes.
Lovett, because it's just before his entrance. And that's why the phone, I think that's why they chose that one.
But then they end it where I'm like, you have the catalog of the Sweeney Todd, but they end it with "I try."
Yes.
Where I'm like, okay.
I think that's the point. He's trying and he's failing.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's what the point is, because the whole episode is just a hot mess from beginning to end.
But then I'm assuming like this is like the most musical episode out of the whole series.
Yeah, I mean, there's some music in so many other episodes. Andy asks Angela out by having his college friends sing a cappella with him, and there's a couple things like that. Or in season 9 for a Halloween episode, Andy and Steve Colbert is his old like college friend, and they have like a singing battle in the middle of the show.
Oh,
so
God.
I'm telling you, like, it's good stuff, man. But yeah, it's a whole big thing.
Because like because I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm watching this as a snapshot. So to me, this was just really funny, and like obviously they have 7 seasons of working together and chemistry. So like by the end, when Ed Helms is singing "I Try," not great, but he's trying. They all join in, and it's like a family, or like they're really friends, even though they take the piss out of each other and whatnot.
Yeah, well, what I love about that final scene is, if you notice really closely, Michael Scott, who's played by Steve Carell, doesn't know any of the words. And this is the one who did the full Law and Order episode to get into the show. And he's just continuing to prove why he didn't get a part. That's how I see that scene. But I love that. They zoom in on him, and he's kind of going, "Bah, bah, bah, bah," and he doesn't know the words, so he shrugs. It's like, it's great.
I love that they even brought the, because they never really in the show they never really talk about how it's a documentary, right? Like when they're doing
not till the end of season 9.
God. Well, yeah,
Where
because they're like, the show's over, so now we have to like finally justify this for everybody because it's
yeah, like I want to say it's the final 2 or 3 episodes. It's PBS type thing where it's coming out, and the show continues to follow them with the excitement of knowing that it's finally coming out, and there's like secrets that people are going, wait, you're gonna tell audiences this? There was stuff in the trailer I didn't want you to share, and
but
it's so funny.
But
it's very Spinal Tap.
Yeah, but I love that they even have that camera crew backstage.
Yeah.
Because they're just filming. Yeah. Where he's checking everything.
He's like, yeah, I've got the camera crew right here. I might as well tell them I'm on my phone while I'm about to enter and my mic's probably on. I'm going to go on stage for a scene.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, great, like, first entry for me.
Yeah, it's such a good show.
And like I said,
I saw the episode when it first aired, and I remember I had just gotten home from work, and it started, and the cold open happens, and then the opening credits, and I went, wait, is this going to be a Sweeney Todd episode? There's no way.
I love it. It's just so funny, and like, yeah, well, this cast to me, I don't really know as like singers or performers like that. Mm-hmm. But it's nice to see that they, were up for the challenge, and obviously, like you said, it's the play that goes wrong. So like they were able to find the humor in that respect.
100%.
Hello, I am Ariana Armand, and now you have a face to go with the voice that you've been hearing on these podcasts for the last several years.
And we're here today to talk about
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I have to say, while doing this episode and everything, y'all are picking like bangers and things from my childhood. So like, it was lovely to revisit Who Framed Roger Rabbit for this episode. But
I love this movie.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so well done. And I mean, we just did Pete's Dragon together. But I feel like this was when they got that right. The animation and live action together.
No, Pete's Dragon walked so that Roger Rabbit could run.
And if you remember in that episode, I talked about Jack and the Beanstalk with Gene Kelly.
Yes.
That was like the great grandfather of all of this. But so why did you pick this for this episode?
Because this is one of my favorite movies. It is like one of my comfort movies. It's like I've seen it a million times.
Understandable.
Clearly, Jessica Rabbit is a bit of an influence on me. When I get sick, I don't know
what you're talking about, Ariana.
I don't know. When I get sick, I sound exactly like Kathleen Turner, and I will send you a video that I did the last time I was sick, where I did Jessica Rabbit lines, and it sounded almost identical. And unfortunately, I can only do this when I'm sick, which.
Well, so, it's kind of a surprise that this isn't a musical because it's so much like that. We have there's like technically 3 songs. 2 of them are reprised later in the movie, but the one you wanted to talk about was Why Don't You Do Right, which I always just assumed was written for the movie.
No, it wasn't. And the first time I ever heard it was in Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
So I was like very surprised to like hear the Peggy Lee version, like the original version, which is very different.
Oh, so it's not sultry?
It's not this sultry. It's you had plenty money 1922. It's like very upbeat, jazzy.
I mean, they're still in the jazz world, at least in this movie. Yeah.
It's still jazz. It's just not the slow, like, the first time I heard it, I was, like, very put on, like, thrown, because I was expecting,
Right, yeah, you're expecting, like, the sultry, the sexy...
Yeah.
Where
the phrasing is completely different, you had, I fell for your jive and I took you in. And now y'all got to offer me is a drink of gin. You know, it's very, very different.
I have to say, as like a side note, if for those that are listening / watching, this moment is like a culmination of people from other episodes, I should say. Because we have Kathleen Turner, as you said. She's this. She was uncredited for this, by the way, which blew my mind.
She was not uncredited, but she didn't do the singing. That was Amy Irving.
Yes. So Amy Irving, who people will remember played Sue Snell when we did Carrie, because we talked about the original Carrie movie. And then there was a performance model, which I'm assuming was just like a stand-in, so this way they could draw on top or like for sightlines and everything. The actress was Betsy Brantley, who played Neely in Shock Treatment. So I'm just like, oh my God, this is like, it's really fascinating after so many episodes that you're like finding connections.
Everything crosses over. Everything.
And it's all to
Kevin
this,
Bacon.
it's all to this podcast, yes. But then
Where's the Kevin Bacon connection? We got to.
I feel like he's been in an episode. If not, we have to do one soon.
Wait, have you done Footloose?
No, we have not done Footloose.
I don't know. Is that is the film actually a musical though?
We can do it as a screen to stage episode.
There you go.
Maybe. But yeah, so there's like I said, there's two other songs. There's the Merry-Go-Round Broke Down, which is the one that Roger sings, and then later Eddie performs it, where part of my brain was just like, okay, he's in the real world, but he's doing cartoon logic right now, which we...
Well, you know, like he's famously said he had hallucinations from doing this movie. Bob Hoskins.
Really?
Yeah, because he was acting so much opposite nothing.
Oh.
He actually, like, he talks about it like he had like a slight mental break.
But like, I mean, the character Eddie, you know, he's banging his head with things, and he's, you know, running around this warehouse that I'm just like, you should be dead, or at least have some cuts and things like that. But oh my God, I can't believe Bob Hoskins had a mental breakdown because of this movie.
No, like he talks about it. He's like, I was literally seeing things.
Was he seeing a giant white rabbit?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Charles Fleischer did come on set.
Okay, that's good.
In a costume, like in a Roger Rabbit. So like people were
I think it's
like producers, I think, because people didn't understand what was going on. Like there were like producers and people on set who were like, what the like, this is what we're doing, like this giant guy in a costume, like they thought that was the movie.
Oh, and they're like, no, this is still the early days of CGI, everyone.
This is Charles Fleischer being insane is what this is.
So for the Jessica Rabbit of it all, why don't you do right? Do you think there's like a different song they could have used?
I'm sure they could have found something. I think I think staying in the era, clearly.
Yeah, because it's in the 30s.
Like Fever would have been like the obvious.
Oh, right. I mean, they could have also just been anachronistic and picked like...
Or they could have done that.
Done like Endless Love or whatever. I don't even know what was around in 88.
But I think the whole take on this film was to keep it very real, because you're dealing with a very unreal situation and so you have to root the rest of it in reality.
And this is like the way that they reorchestrated the song. Is that how I want to phrase it?
Arranged it.
The way that they arranged it, like you get this character right away. You know, granted, she is very sexy to look at and voluptuous, and she's got boobies and no waist and, you know, legs for days, but without, like, you understand who she is throughout this, 2 minutes, if that.
And you're getting that kind of, is she the villain, is she not the villain vibe, even from like this moment.
Yeah, Because she's the femme fatale, and this is a film noir,
Yes.
but with cartoons.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. It's a film noir. And it's frankly much better than the novel that it's based on.
Yeah! I was gonna say, the book is so different.
The book is like... And yeah.
Because they're comic strips, not...
They're comic strips.
Yeah.
Trying to enter the real world, and they don't even speak. It's all speech bubbles.
Yeah, and it's called Who Censored Roger Rabbit, not Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. And I believe there's a sequel novel as well, but I never read that.
Yeah, I
one.
think there was a sequel novel that he wrote that was more based off the film.
Got it. Okay.
He's recently gotten the rights back to the original novel.
The author?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And I think there is talk about him, like shopping it around and trying to do.
Well, because now technology is so advanced as it was in
But
1988.
even so, and keeping it like more like to the original novel. But even so, with that, I think you'd lose a lot of what made this work, which was that you got all the animation studios. You had Warner Brothers. You had you had Fleischer, the one that did Betty Boop.
Yes.
Fleischer, I think it's Fleischer. So you had all and you couldn't do that again, and there was so much negotiating to make that work. Like Warner Brothers said, so there's that scene with Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse. And
where technically Mickey Mouse is on screen longer than Bugs Bunny.
But they had to negotiate. And same thing with like Daffy Duck and Down.
Oh, is that how they got
They had to. The arrangement was, the agreement was, in order to let them do this, is that all the characters from the different studios had to have the same amount of dialogue.
Oh, I thought it was screen time.
It's screen time and dialogue. Like you could, yeah. So which is why I like that back and forth with Bugs and Mickey Mouse. Like that's. Like you could not do, the studios would not agree to this at this point, and it's like it would cost, the cost would be prohibitive. They were talking about doing more, like another film, and they couldn't. There was just no way.
Well, obviously
with the negotiations between the studios and it's.
But this movie is so iconic, and Jessica Rabbit is an icon in and of herself that I don't think you can remake this. I mean, you can, but why?
No. Well, and I mean, and it's even so. Like, here's, going back to like modern sensibilities and everything. So there is a ride at Disneyland. There's Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, and it originally was kind of like following the plot of the film. Well, now they've updated it because like there was a scene with like Jessica Rabbit like tied up in the trunk of a car, which is from the movie. Like it's and now they
tied up in the trunk of a car.
Or I don't know if she was tied up in the trunk.
Roger was,
but in the ride, Jessica is. She's tied up in the trunk, like she's been kidnapped. And modern sensibilities, they have now updated the ride. So Jessica, the plot of the ride is no longer like based on the film. It's like Jessica is now trying to become a detective, and so she's more covered up in like a trench coat, and this, which is just. Really, you know what? We can have these femme fatale characters. We can have these sexually empowered women. Like she was an icon, and she was sexually empowered, and she was, she was like bribed into the patty cake situation, and kind of like like used in that. But I'm all for like empowered women, and I'm all for. But can we please? Give me my femme fatales here and there. She's not a weak character.
Hello, I'm Kendra, host of Crushgasm. New episodes coming later this year. And you can find all my writings about pop culture, music, and all the fun things at kendrawritesstuff.com.
We're here to talk about
The First Wives Club.
I rewatched this whole movie and I was laughing my ass off. I forgot like how many people are in this movie.
It's star-studded.
It's star-studded.
And then you're like, Jesse Spano, just why? Sure, toss her in, Sarah Jessica Parker. Let's go.
This is like right before Sex and the City, right?
Yeah, 97. So, or
Yeah.
96. So it was a minute before.
Yeah, and then all them Victor Garber not singing.
It's so good. So it's again star-studded, start to finish. When movies were great.
Yeah, and revisiting older. Well, this movie turned 30 this year, so happy birthday, First Wives Club. Um, but like comedies from the 90s, they're hit or miss, and this one was a definite hit. Like the jokes still are funny. Like a lot of it is slapsticky. It felt like.
It is weird that it came out when I was 9. And every woman I know loved this movie. So I always am like, what at 9 drove us to this? Like it starts out really dark. This
Yes.
movie. It gets really light. It is a comedy, but it starts out very dark. And that was like, I was watching this at 9 years old, like enthralled. I would rent it all the time. If it was on TV, I watched it. It was just perfect. And I know Ariana Grande, when she did, I believe, Thank You Next on Ellen, she parodied this movie in the performance. Even walks out in the coats. It's amazing. But she's younger than me, so I'm like, she was what, 6, 7? So not mean to say that, but 6 or 7 years old watching this. I don't know why. Like, we love divorcees, the millennial women.
But this movie is also very progressive for the 90s even.
It is. I mean, the movie starts with them graduating in 1969, and I was thinking, wow, these are the women of the 70s, the ones who burned the bras, the ones who got bank accounts for the first time,
Yep.
like all that stuff. And they were the Mary Tyler Moore generation, very independent. And I think maybe we saw our own moms and grandmas in these women, and we're like, they were doing it up. And
And
that's
it's really
inspiring.
and it's really interesting that there is a musical moment in this. But before we get into it, I just have to ask, why did you pick this one?
It's one of my favorite scenes in movies. It's so joyous. It's celebratory. I think the movie, again, like, why was I 9 watching this? Why? I don't know. Maybe 12 would have made sense, so like pre-teen, teenage years, but 9? Like, what did I know about life? But like the movie as a whole, I love is like this monolith for like millennial feminism, but this like particular scene is what sets it over, like it pushes it over the edge. It's like, you don't own me, bitch.
Right. And like, I've been asking some other people like what other song would fit in this moment, and I don't think there's any other song that's more perfect for this movie.
I mean, it's like the encapsulation of like girlhood of the late 90s with like Spice Girls coming soon, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, whereas like we were entrepreneurial because of Babysitter's Club, like everything. But I think it's this one of these moments. Like if you were to put the millennial women on like a scale, or like when was your tipping point of girlhood? And you're like, First Wives Club.
It's
Pop
the
music.
90s. Yeah.
Progressive. In our pantsuits.
But also, I have to say, I'm not surprised that there is a performance giving that our 3 leads. No, all 3 of them.
Okay.
Because there's Bette Midler, obviously, everyone knows her. Goldie Hawn was also a singer at points. I believe she sang on Laugh-In at sometimes, or, she's done it in a couple other movies. And then the real sleeper is Diane Keaton. Speaking of the 60s, she was in the original cast of Hair.
Oh, okay.
So
She a singer.
she is a singer, and I was just like, of course you're going to have these 3 women sing an anthem song for this. I feel like I'm not the right person to talk about it because I am a cisgendered man, but we're still going to talk about it. Because I, like you, I know I saw this as a kid. It's been a hot minute since I've seen this movie, but like that ending is just emblazed in my head, in my brain, because it's so iconic.
Every move of it, Diane Keaton being very skittish to start, and then her just like owning it. I think Diane Keaton is like, yes, we love that from Hocus Pocus. Goldie Hawn, my mother made me watch the crap out of Overboard, but like Diane Keaton from like First Wives Club, you just like I came in loving her the most and I left loving her even more. But like that, when Goldie Hawn is like kicking and stands on the chair, it's just all perfect. And then they're just like walking in the street and I'm like thinking in my head, I just rewatched it like a minute ago. I was like, they just let there's no music playing. These women were just like singing a cappella. And like if you were like the cleaning crew for that event they had, you're like trying to get cleaned and they're like having their moment. And how it would have probably sounded if they weren't like trained singers.
And
Silly.
so I live in New York, and I think I know where exactly they are.
Hang on, send me the address so next time I'm in New York I can go.
It is currently a Home Depot.
Oh,
But when you look at it, you look at the structure, it's all the same, but it on the inside it's a massive Home Depot.
oh, okay.
But in the 90s, I don't think it was one. So
Oh, they did pave a parking lot. Paradise, and they put up a Home Depot. Oh my god! Why? That should be like a freaking historical monument.
I mean, it probably is, but on the inside, they're like, we got to do something.
We got paint.
We got paint. We got paint and plywood.
That's that's but America capitalism.
But I have to say, because the ending is so iconic, I haven't seen this in a while. I forgot they do sing this song earlier in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's when they're like figuring out their next steps and everything, and they're rekindling the friendship. So it's kind of it's an anthem song for them, the divorcees, but also it's kind of like it felt like that song that they would sing in their dorm rooms with their hairbrushes.
Very much that. It was like their like it was their wannabe, basically.
Yes.
You get millennial women in a room, you put on Spice Girls, you put on Backstreet Boys, like it's on. So that was like their thing.
Millennial women and me, you know. I'm with you, especially you turn on Spice Girls, I'm ready. We are ready. The first two albums, not the later ones.
Yeah, once Ginger left, it was a hot mess,
But that's not what we're here for. And then I also forgot that like Stockard Channing was in this, and that's the whole reason why they
Reunited.
reconnect, which is still very like relatable. It's not just like a 90s movie or this specific movie, because we have all had friends, deep friendships in college, and then life happens that you forget to text them except when it's their birthday or something. So, and that's what this feels like.
Oh,
But
very
90s.
much. Now that you're older and rewatching, it's a whole different ball game of heartbreak because you're like, oh yeah, I haven't talked to my best friend in like 3 years. Why is that? I hope she's doing it. I actually just sent all my friends postcards telling them to take care of themselves. Cause
After watching this,
no, just I was like, I had some postcards and I was like, oh, let me reach out. Summer's starting. People need to take care of themselves and be reminded they're amazing. So I did that.
my
And
God,
I
I'm
love
gonna cry.
and I love sending mail. Started with COVID. I was like sending letters. Like I was like, my husband was out to war. I was like, dearest friends. I would be the soccer Channing. She like I'd be extra like sending pearls before I did the thing. Like, hey guys.
Oh no.
She was doing the most. But she got her friends back together and it worked out because they got to open a really cool foundation in her honor.
And it turns out that it's like it's not a women's shelter, but it's like a clinic where it's not like a therapist, because still in the 90s that wasn't really a thing, therapy, but like this is like a community building, like, oh, I need to talk to somebody, and
like an outreach center.
Yes. Yeah, that's now a Home Depot.
Also really like symbolic, take away the mental health services for capitalism.
It's so hard because this was just like the right time for this type of movie. And then there's the
Fair was maybe a year or two before, like that whole scene, the Lilith Fair like scene as well, like the Paula Coles and all that. Divas Live, I think, was about to drop on VH1. So,
Yeah. In
what
the
a
90s, women ruled or started to rule the world.
and then Y2K.
And then Y2K happened. Oh boy. And yeah.
So many things. But yeah, at the end of, I think that's why a lot of millennial women are nostalgic for it too, because we were like, wow, it was very hopeful for us at that time. And
Interesting.
it's the psychology of it all.
And it's because of this movie.
It is. It's such a good. It's weird how many girls I meet that I'm like, wait, you were like obsessed with that movie too at 9. The age is wild to me. That I was like, Diane Keaton's the best actress in the world. I must see everything she does. Shout out to book club.
Hi, I'm Blanche, and I chose the topic for this segment.
And we're here to talk about
Stranger Things Season 3, Episode 8, Chapter 8, The Battle of Starcourt.
So Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
I love this show, I have to say.
Me
And
too.
I'm really glad you picked this, but I want to know, why did you pick this song from Stranger Things? Or this song in general, I mean, out of all the options in the world.
It's not so much the song as it is the scene. I just think it's really fun and goofy. And I just love Stranger Things. I watch this season every summer. And I think the scene really fits well with the rest of the season.
Because, okay, so in the season 3 finale, like in season 3, it's their summer season, which
yeah.
I
That's why I
actually-
watch it every summer.
I enjoy this season. I know a lot of people
I
don't
love
really
it.
like it, but I enjoyed it. And this scene kind of frustrates me, if I'm going to be totally honest, just
Okay.
because I'm with the party. You know, we're like, we're on a time crunch, you know, we need this now, and like obviously there are like 3 to 4 different groups of people around Hawkins, because we've got the people in the secret underground base, we've got Dustin at Cerebro with a bunch of other people, and then we have the other group at the mall. So
They're all part of what makes this scene so great, though. Like, all their reactions are just too funny. And just like cutting between the 4 of them, the scene with the mind flayer chasing the car is too funny. It just gets me every time.
and the song we're talking about is The Never Ending Story.
Yes!
Which I've been
From
meaning to
the
rewatch
movie.
this movie. Yeah. So, this song, which I gotta say, it does fit the vibe of the series,
I think it really does.
because it's got like rock vibes to it, and the 80s-ness. Honestly, I don't know what other song it would be of this time period.
I don't either.
Because Dustin and Susie meet at a science camp.
Yes. What is it called? Camp Nowhere, but Nowhere is spelled Know.
That sounds right. And it seems logical for this show. And, this whole season, we don't know who Susie is. We never see her because, it feels like Dustin made up a girlfriend, and they all rag on him for that. But, when we finally meet her,
She's real.
She's real, and she's this cute little theater girly.
Little Mormon girl.
So what's fascinating is we have Gaten Matarazzo, right? Who everyone knows that he was in Les Mis, but he actually made his Broadway debut in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert in 2011.
I didn't know that.
Surprise! I did some research. Well, here's where it gets more interesting. Gabriella Pizzullo, who plays Susie, made her Broadway debut in Matilda the Musical in 2013.
Ooh.
And then there's another Stranger Things actor who was on Broadway around the same time.
It's Caleb McLaughlin.
It's Caleb, yes. And so it makes me wonder, like, if the three of them, like, hung out in between shows or something like that, or like, you know.
Oh, and also Sadie Sink, right?
She recently was on Broadway.
I thought she was as a little baby too.
Oh, let me look her up real quick. You're right. Wait, no.
She was in Annie.
She was in Annie. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're on the same time. Holy shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Okay. So in 2012, 2013, she played Annie Tessie Duffy. And then in 2013 to 2014, she was Annie and Duffy alternating. Wow, that's so fascinating that the four of them. And what's even more fascinating is that it's the four of them that do sing this song within this episode. Granted, Gaten and Gabriella are doing more of like a performative song, a performative version of the Neverending Story, where where it's kind of interesting because like Susie it makes this like side quest even more difficult because like the idea is that the party is broken up into small groups and they're trying to, you know, there's the Mind Flayer with like Elle and those people in the mall, right? I didn't rewatch this
and then under the mall is
under the mall is the adults
and then
and
in
Hopper.
the car. No, screw him. He does not exist.
And then at Cerebro, it's
It's
Dustin.
Erica and Dustin.
Yeah,
and then
but
in the car is Steve, Robin, and Jonathan. No, not Jonathan. Who's driving?
Steve, Robin.
No, Steve and Robin are in the back seat.
Is
Nancy driving?
Is it Nancy and Jonathan in the front?
It might be. Maybe it's Nancy or Jonathan.
I think it's Nancy. Oh, right, because isn't wait, is Steve and Robin still under the influence of the drugs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Steve and Robin are still stoned out of their minds.
Yes. But like they're all connected via their walkie-talkies,
Right.
and what's so fascinating is to think about Stranger Things as like a game of D&D. Now,
Yeah.
I am not a D&Der. I haven't played
neither.
it yet.
But I've
Part of me-
watched the show.
Yeah,
And
part of
that's
me
about-
is really, really interested in actually like partaking in a campaign. So it's really interesting to think about every season as a campaign, and then you go on these side quests that, you know, I mean, you've seen it in like fantasy movies or other video games or board games or
Yeah.
tabletop games where you have to like go on this side quest that is very important to get this thing. In this case, isn't it like it's a code, right? For like not
It's Planck's constant.
I was gonna say Fibonacci.
It's like a math.
I was like, it's
number.
not Fibonacci's, you know, it's something along those lines.
I don't even know what that is.
It's another mathematical thing. And Susie is the only one that really knows this because Dustin can't remember it in the heat of the moment. And so Susie's like, nuh-uh, you're not getting this because you haven't talked to me all summer after we left, and now I'm going to make you work for it. And it's kind of just like, okay. Which, again, like I said, we've seen this in other fantasy things, but I'm with the party being like, Susie, come on, we gotta go. There's other more important things than you hearing your Dusty Poo sing
No, she is Susie Pooh. He is Dusty
Dusty
Bun.
Bun. That's right.
They're so silly.
But like, I kind of agree with the show that it is Dustin that would have to do this type of thing.
Yeah. Like I don't think it would be Lucas or Max.
No, even though, like we said, they are Broadway girlies.
Right, and I think they would do a great job.
And they
but
do a great job later in the episode. when
well, they're bullying him.
Well, yeah, they're poking it
Affectionately bullying him.
It's all in good fun, you know, and it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they do have great voices, I will say. But I feel like for this side quest, like, in order to perform a song, it has to be Dustin.
Yes, absolutely.
It can't be anybody else. And it was... Yeah, I honestly can't... Like, maybe The Last Unicorn might be a good option, but, like, not even that is, like, fulfilling the vibe of what's going on. You know, that's a little too mellow.
Right. This one is, like, more upbeat and,
Yeah, and it follows...
exciting.
And yeah, it's a juxtaposition and a funny one, as you mentioned, where the song is happening and the Mind Flayer is chasing them. So you have this giant meat monster chasing a car while the never-ending story is being played.
Right. And Erica's just sitting next to him watching as he's...
I love all the reactions because even the adults are listening on the radio just going, the fuck is going on? But they're all just like, come on, Dusty Buns. And Susie Pooh.
And don't they call him Dusty Bun for the rest of the show?
I feel like everyone... Well, I don't think they did that in season 5.
Oh, probably
maybe
not.
once in a while, but season 5 was such a vastly different vibe than the rest of the show.
I liked season 5 more than I liked season 4.
I mean, yeah, season 4 there was a lot going on.
I did not like season 4. It was just meh.
But then, like, there are other moments. Well, the only other musically moment that I can think of is in season 4 with Running Up That Hill. And granted, what's his name? Eddie? Yeah. Eddie does play Master of Puppets on the...
Right.
He shreds it, which is so fucking awesome.
I feel like that's more of a performance than Running Up That Hill.
Running Up That Hill, though, is just, like, honestly...
But it's not like a character performing, though. It's
No, but it is, to me, I had such an emotional response to that.
That's so fair.
I remember when I first watched it, I was watching it in between shows at work, and I was at a Starbucks, just, you know, hanging out. It was a nice day, and I was like, I gotta watch my Stranger Things. And when that happened, like, of Max literally running out of the Upside Down, I was sobbing.
Oh.
And is there another one? I feel like this. Well, is it Time After Time that they dance at in season 2?
Time After Time is at the Snowball, but also Should I Stay or Should I Go?
Yes,
is like the heart and soul of season 1. That's like the Byers Boys.
Yeah.
song.
So like there are moments, but I feel like the Neverending Story is like the most performative musical-y moment.
Absolutely. And that's why I chose this one. And I think it's the most fun too. Like there's not really a significant moment with Should I Stay or Should I Go, which would honestly be my top choice. Like that's my favorite song from the series. But like it's just kind of threaded through the first 2 seasons. But this one's just so fun. It's just so goofy. I love it so much. I look forward to it every time I watch season 3.
Hi, I'm Diana DiCostanzo.
And we're here to talk about
Step Brothers.
from 2008. Good year.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen this movie before, so it was kind of interesting.
Oh my god. How does that happen?
I think I don't like this era of Will Ferrell's career.
Okay.
You know, like I did like Anchorman and
Love Anchorman.
and things afterwards, which honestly, when so I know you picked this, and I was like, let's do a musical moment in a non-musical movie. So you're like, Sweet Child of Mine. But there's a lot more songs in this movie, surprisingly.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff at the end. I mean, Boats and Hoes is a great, great song. There's obviously the great moment at the Catalina wine mixer.
The Catalina wine mixer. The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
This movie is so quotable, and I love it. But this, to me, it's sort of the most out of place musical moment, I think, because you're not expecting it. It really is one of those moments where you're like, why was there a song there? But it really works. And it sounds good, and it's funny. And I think it's one of the best standalone scenes in a film where you introduce new characters, and within a minute and a half, you know everything you need to know about these characters individually, as a family, and how they're going to interact like with the other characters of the movie.
Right, because you get Adam Scott playing the Will Ferrell's brother, but also he's the dad of this family, and he's such an asshole.
So obnoxious. This was actually the first movie I saw him in, I believe, like the first thing I watched him act in. And so I thought that was his type and that was kind of the parts he played. And then years later I watched Parks and Rec, and I'm like, oh, very different vibes.
And then you see him in Severance, and you're like, oh, very, very different.
Oh, I haven't watched Severance yet. I know.
Oh,
but yeah,
wait.
he has a big range, especially like for playing such a narcissist in this movie, and then being like sweet as pie in Parks and Rec.
And then we get Catherine Hahn, who, I'm gonna just say it, she's in an abusive relationship with him.
Yeah, but verbally abusive for sure.
Verbally abusive, and it feels like she fell out of love with him many, many years ago.
Yeah, trapped in a loveless marriage. They want to project the idea of the picture perfect family, but she's like being dragged along as part of it. You could see that she has these like dead eyes during the scene. Like she's singing, but she's just like a robot. She's not present. And he's just demeaning her and being derogatory to her and mentioning how much money he's put into like her voice lessons. You could tell that this is just like a common thing. But what's interesting, I don't always catch this, but when I rewatched it for this, even the children are kind of like judging her too. You could tell they're on their dad's side.
Oh, 100%.
Because she's singing badly and they're making faces like, come on, Mom, get with the picture.
Like, is she really singing badly? It didn't sound as bad as he was making it out to be.
Right. It was just like a little flat, a little like monotone compared to them, which, by the way, his voice is definitely dubbed in this. That's not Adam Scott singing, but it's most likely the children singing.
Probably, and it is her singing, because we've all heard Agatha all along. Like, come on.
Yeah. And what's funny is this is like, for me earlier, Catherine Hahn, when I was still getting to know her, and just the amount of stuff she's been in since. So you go back and watch and you're like, oh my God, she's in it. She's so good.
She's everywhere.
She's everywhere. I love everything she's in.
And like, so I know you picked this one, and I've actually seen this out of context on like Reels or YouTube Shorts or whatever. Right. But I kind of want to talk about another song, if you don't mind.
Sure. We're
making up the rules as we go along with this episode, apparently.
Sure.
I want to talk about, and I'm going to fuck up this title, Porti Voler, which is what Will Ferrell sings at the end. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the whole movie, we're told he has the voice of a songbird, and like his brother teased him in high school. His voice is a mixture
of Fergie and Jesus.
But like, you know, when John C. Reilly forces him to sing something and he sings something to talk about, I was like, this is nothing special to me. Right. But then at the end, when he sings operatic, I'm just like, I wonder if this is like what made him think about Eurovision Song Contest in a way.
Oh, maybe. I always forget about that movie, but that movie's so good too.
And that one he plays a singer as well, but he's a little more serious, not
Right.
like this one where he puts his nutsack on a drum set, you know.
You touch my drum set. Me and my sister and I quote that literally all the time.
But like, I mean, I think overall, like, there were some funny moments, but I just didn't like this movie, if I'm going to be totally honest with you.
That's fine. This is sort of like the pattern we have where I'm like, "Hey John, let's do this episode," and you don't like something as much as something that's very beloved to me.
I'm so sorry. But I do have to agree with you that the Sweet Child of Mine moment in this was hilarious. And like,
Yeah.
I think to me, Adam Scott and Kathryn Hahn are the best in this movie. And like the fact that, you know, they're driving in the car and you can tell that this is their car song that they are practicing every time they're going to somebody's place with the four of them.
Right.
And so, like, I guess Kathryn Hahn, like, she may just be disinterested because of A, that, and or B, because of, like, the Adam Scott's an asshole. But how it ends with them almost crashing, and then they take a beat, and then they finish the song, that was hilarious.
That's the thing about this scene. It's not just like, oh, they sing a song, you learn about the characters, but it's formed so well. There's such a good button to it because they're obnoxious, but it sounds good. And then almost instant karma for this character, these very unlikable characters, but then they get out of it and everything's fine for them, and without missing a beat, right back into this harmony, which I wonder how many takes they had to do because it sounded like they might have been singing live there. I don't know. But, and then they just jump into that, and then the young son just vocalizes at the end, and it leads into the next scene. Perfect minute and 30 seconds of movie magic. In my opinion.
I can't believe it's only a minute and 30 seconds, but it was still very... It's kind of like the 66 seconds of Bob Fosse in Kiss Me Kate, which is...
That I don't know.
Surprisingly. The Kiss Me Kate movie where Bob Fosse does 66 seconds of what will become his genre, his style.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, talk about, like, leaving an impact. I feel like both songs that we mentioned are, like, the best out of all the ones that are performed. I mean, obviously they're supposed to be. But, like something to talk about, it wasn't that great. The Billy Joel 80s songs. And, like, the Boats and Hoes was supposed to just be, like, a funny, we're on a boat.
Yeah.
You know,
they're like trying to make this entrepreneurial effort and put forth this song that they're obviously going to be bad at, and then they crash the boat. Which that was such a beautiful sailboat. I love sailboats. I wish I was rich and owned one, but like that kills me when they like mess
and then
up
they
that
make
boat.
it into a tree fort. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to mention? You want to talk about?
Just I love this movie. I love the scene. It's a good, like, feel good movie. It's one of those where it's on TV, I'll stop and watch it at least for a bit, and wherever it is, I'll pick it back up, and then I'll remember more quotes and quote it back and forth with my sister.
I'm Ashley Evans. I'm John's Riverdale correspondent, but today we're not talking about Riverdale.
And we're here to talk about...
Barbie! Hi, Barbie!
Hi, Barbie! I love this movie.
So good.
And I don't know about you, but I watched the whole thing just because, like, sometimes, like, with a lot of these, it's like, I don't remember them. Barbie I've seen, like, very recently.
The limit does not exist.
But the limit doesn't exist. But I wanted to rewatch it anyway, just because, like, to get the context of everything right. And it's just so fucking good.
I love it.
And everything.
I love it.
And starting the movie, part of me was just like, why isn't this a musical?
I have thoughts on that
Because we
that
get
point.
Pink, which I believe that's
That's
Lizzo.
Lizzo.
Yes. And it's very her talking about what's happening in the movie, which obviously, I don't know what happened first, like a chicken or egg situation, where did they record her first or did they film it first or what have you? But it works perfectly that it kind of, with this rewatch, it set me up to believe it's a musical. And then we get Dance the Night, which Dula Peep, who's in it, and it's a big dance number, and it's part integral, so it is still very musical. But I don't think this is a musical movie. I wouldn't consider
It's a movie
this.
with a banger soundtrack and a couple of random musical moments for no reason, and that's how I think it should stay. Because there were talks, and honestly, they probably, I don't know, money talks. I feel like if they made a Barbie musical, I would reluctantly go see it 5 times. But, but I don't think, I love a movie that has a couple random musical numbers just for the sake of fuck all. Let's just do it. And I think it's funny that, like,
Yes.
the musical numbers in question are both Ken ones in a movie about Barbie. Because it subverts a trope where it's like, oh, well, it's a girly movie. It's called Barbie. So, like, Barbie's probably going to have a bunch of, like, musical numbers. Would I have been mad? I don't know if Margot can sing, but, like, I would not have been mad if that happened. But I think it's a more interesting choice to make not the title character be the one who sings. Because, okay.
You're right.
And this is not even I'm Just Ken. This is, like, when they're playing their guitars and they're singing, oh God, what is that song?
Push.
That's like
By Matchbox
such
20.
a relatable fucking moment for anybody who's ever gone to high school. And a guy with floppy hair is like, let me play you Wonderwall one more time. Like, that is that moment in Barbie, and it's very relatable on a girl, because all the Barbies are fucking over it. They're like, yep, But then I'm Just Ken elevates it, so it's like, no, but like there's not just the annoying version. Like, this is his moment of the movie. And I honestly, obviously, no disrespect to Margot, she was stellar as Barbie, but I think I'm Just Ken is what clenched him that Oscar nomination for sure.
So before we get into more talking more about I'm Just Ken, I just have to ask, why did you pick this out of all the options?
Because I am Knuff.
You're right. So, and it's interesting to find out that I'm Just Ken was allegedly written as a joke, or like even the songwriter didn't take it seriously and was surprised when Greta Gerwig was like, I love it. I'm going to play it for Ryan now.
Wait, I love that. Well, Ryan Gosling didn't initially take the role, right?
I read that he allegedly took the role after seeing one of his children's Ken dolls like face down in the mud, and took a picture of it and sent it to Greta and being like, I have to tell his story. So, but then you have to remember Ryan Gosling, like, forget La La Land. He was a Mouseketeer.
Sorry.
He was a Mouseketeer.
Yeah.
He was part of like the new Mickey Mouse Club with Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and all of them. So like, I'm a little more upset that he's not doing like more musical stuff, but like when he does, it hits like this.
I think it's best this way, because I feel like if he was all music all the time, he might get a DUI and then ruin the whole tour, the world tour. But because it's just special moments of music, you know who I'm talking about, other Mickey Mouse Club member that you mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah,
It'll ruin the whole tour.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm picking up. But no, I mean, like, I wish he was in. He doesn't have to do all musicals, I'm saying, but I wish like one or two more. You know, like, or he did one or two more up until this point.
I'm just happy to see him having fun. Like, it's not like...
Oh my god, yes.
Because there's gonna be people out there who are like, Ryan Gosling, technique, voice, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, nobody's thinking that watching this. Like, and that is the main critique about La La Land and his performance in La La Land, which, I mean, I have my own opinions about La La Land just as a whole, but, like, I will say, homie did learn how to play piano for La La Land, so that's, like, commitment. Like, does he have the background of a lot of, like, musical actors? No, but, like, is he willing to commit to the bit and commit really fucking hard? Yeah, he'll put his whole dick and balls into a role and be like, he plays piano, I guess I play piano now. And I feel like Ken gave him the opportunity to do in La La Land what he was critiqued for, but actually have fun with it, because nobody's watching. I'm just Ken going, that's a little pitchy. Is that they're just having fucking fun with it. So if Ryan Gosling can only do, like, musical numbers that are just fucking fun, I am here for it.
So, I know Barbie, the movie, is, like, very feminist, obviously.
It's like Feminism 101.
But, and, like, Ken in it becomes red-pilled and an alpha male. So are we to say that I'm Just Ken is what's happening inside alpha males' heads at all times?
Oh, I mean, leave it to Ryan Gosling to make me believe in the friend zone for 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Because that's not real, but for those 4 minutes and 58 seconds, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, he's in the friend zone, and that sucks.
Is that how long the song is?
I looked it up.
Yeah.
In the movie.
I just rewatched it too.
In the theme of the movie.
Because it starts on the beach where the Kens are at war, and then it goes into the dream sequence that may not be a dream sequence because Simu Liu's Ken is magic? ?
Oh, the sparkles.
Is he magic Ken?
Attacked by sparkles.
Attacked by sparkles. But yeah, it's a fun moment, and it's and like you said, it's interesting that it's like Ken is stealing the show literally, like, for the audience. Granted, Margot Robbie
amazing
does an amazing job. But okay, so back to I'm Just Ken, because that's what we're really here to talk about. Like, honestly, I feel like it was a perfect moment for a song.
Of course.
In the movie.
It's an 11 o'clock number.
That and, like, Ken is really going through it. And he, like, I don't think Barbie would be the singer out of the two. Like, you know what, like, the musical rule of, like, when you have so much emotions, you sing, and when you have even more emotions that sing is not enough, you dance. So, like, Ken is really going through an emotional journey because, as it said in the beginning, like, Ken's purpose is to be in love with Barbie and beach.
Barbie is more emotionally evolved because she knows who she is, and then she's like, how do I fit into the bigger picture? Ken doesn't know who he is until he figures out who
right, and that's why I am Kenough. And the ending, where all the Kens are just saying, it's Ken. Oh my God, when she says, maybe it's Barbie and it's Ken, is just so powerful. But, like, also, it doesn't feel like they are, like, justifying all of the toxic masculinity and everything that happened in this. But with her saying that at the end, it's saying that, like, we can just exist together
separately.
Gender is separate. Yes. Like, we're
our own individual. And she knows that already, but he's still discovering it.
And horses.
His Mojo Dojo Casa house. He's just having fun. And I've always liked Ryan Gosling, but, like, I think I like him more with age. Like, and I don't know if it's because he's getting older and he's aging like a fine wine, or if it's because he's a dad now and he's just, like, embracing the joy in every role that he plays, even ones that have, like, more serious moments. He's just like, where do we find the fun? in this, and I feel like he has a good
Can I
head
also-
on his shoulders. Like he's like I'm an actor, and I'm enjoying my this is my job, and I get to do this as a job. This is fun.
There's a moment in I'm Just Ken, which is very fascinating to
Mm-hmm.
me because out of the 5 main Kens, 2 of them are queer.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 that spin inwardly
Kiss him on
and
the
kiss Ryan Gosling on
Yeah.
the cheeks. It's Scott Evans and
Ncuti
Ncuti Gatwa.
The
Yeah.
only Ken who,
Which is so interesting.
only Ken who responded positively to the sparkles, who was like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, sparkles.
But he's the only Ken that was just like, I miss my best friend Barbie, you know? So it's like, so it's good that they all got their wants out of there, but I mean, I'm Just Ken is just so iconic. And I'd be remiss to also mention it lost to another song in Barbie at the Academy Awards. It lost to What I Was Made For, which I'm like, okay, I guess.
I mean, it's a great song, but even Billie Eilish at the Oscars, she's sitting behind Ryan Gosling. I also rewatched the Oscars performance of this because I just wanted to. And
Iconic.
she's just giggling behind him because he's just like, he starts off with like the cowboy hat over his head and he's singing into the microphone. Jessica Lange is behind him too, laughing. And I'm like, hell yeah, Jessica Lange. Like, she missed doing the name game after watching this. She's like, oh, I sang in that episode of American Horror Story. But I even that, like, was completely separate from what they did in the movie. Like, the choreo for the Kens was new. He was wearing, like, a bedazzled pink tux. There's a standing O from everybody in the audience, including Steven Spielberg. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Iconic.
10 out of 10.
Ken out of
10 out
Ken.
of 10. But, like, Ryan Gosling, I was about to be like, you know what? He's going places. I can't wait to see what he does next. But, like, truly, like, there are so many things where I'm like, was that a Ryan Gosling or was that a Greta Gerwig or was that a someone else? Because he just, little things in I'm Just Ken that he does. Like, he gets shot with a sticky dart, he pulls it off of himself, he looks confused, he sticks it onto another Ken. There's a Ken that to attack the Ken, he just opens his shirt and bares his nipples and the Ken falls over. He's, like, singing about not being a dreamer, and he's, like, giving another Ken a noogie. And then, like, when he says, anywhere else I'd be a 10, he's, like, struggling to count to 10 on his hands. Like, there's just, like, little tiny things that I'm like, is this pure Gosling? Or was this someone else? Because I hope it was pure Gosling, because it just seems like very Ryan Gosling to do all those things and make all those choices. And then Simu is, like, meeting him where he is. Like, he is leaning into the ridiculousness that is this performance, this song. It's cool.
So good.
It must have been so much fucking fun.
Hi, I'm Jim from Film Rage Podcast.
And we're here today to talk about
Jaws. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
So Jaws from 1975. Classic film. The last film I'd expect somebody to pick for this episode.
Why? Because there is a scene in this that is one of the most iconic scenes from the movie.
True, but when I sent out the email being like, who wants to do something? I wasn't I mean, you always like to give me things out of left field, but I wasn't expecting this one. So why did you choose Jaws?
Because, first of all, the score for this is probably the most iconic score in the history of film. So that alone deserves to be talked about in the music of it. The second thing about it is the scene we're hopefully going to talk a lot about is the scene where they all sing this song. And it's one song in the movie, and it's when they all come together and finally are all on the same page. Because there is basically, all these three strong minds that are bumping heads, and they're not on the same page. And when this song happens, it pulls them together, just like your podcast does to everybody that listens to it.
Aw, just like this episode. So, Jim, I hate to burst your bubble. Technically, there are 2 songs sung
Oh,
in the
yeah.
movie.
there is, yes.
Yes.
But the most important one is the
most
one
important
that
one,
I wanted
yeah.
to talk
But
about.
you know, I want to start with the least important one, Spanish
Okay.
Ladies, because it seems
Yes.
like it's.
He sings it a lot.
I don't know if it's like, if I want to call it a theme song for Quint, or if it's just like a song that's stuck in his head. But he sings that comes up a lot in the movie.
He does, yeah. It's kind of, yeah. I would say it's kind of his theme music. He's kind of like, I'm here. I'm singing this, and I think it just kind of it is his staple. I'm a sailor. I'm a salty sailor.
Yes, which
Right?
actually, the Spanish Lady song bleeds into "Show Me the Way to Go Home,"
Yep.
which I forgot all about because you know we watched the movie.
Yeah. Yes. we
And
do.
I was like, I needed to watch this iconic movie yet again. But Show Me the Way to Go Home happens so late in the movie, but it's like lulling you into the climax, it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the calm before the storm. It really does tie them all together. Like the fact that you have these 3, strong-willed men, especially with the 2, right? Like, like Richard Dreyfuss is just, he's so full of himself. He's this smart young whippersnapper that knows everything about everything, but he's never actually had to catch and kill a shark before, right?
It's so funny calling him young, and he looks like he's in his 40s.
I know, and he's not. He's still young. He's a whippersnapper back then.
Yeah, he is like a baby compared to how I know Richard Dreyfuss today, you know?
Yeah, of course.
As an older gentleman. But yeah, he comes in all, him and Quint do not get along, and I feel like I heard once upon a time that the 3 of them actually hated each other, like on
Yeah,
screen.
during the film. Yeah, I guess Robert Shaw is like very difficult, and he was an actual alcoholic. Like he was drinking all the way through filming Jaws. So
I mean, it's also the 70s, so like.
well, I don't know if he was
expect
doing
it.
coke because that's the 70s, but
True. But yeah, it I guess it gave it like a little more realism for the movie that he was an actual raging alcoholic.
yeah, it helps, I think.
But Show Me the Way to Go Home. It happens after they all like basically sit in a circle and sing Kumbaya and share their deep, dark pasts. And it's male bonding? Question mark?
Yeah, for sure. I think I really think it's almost the heart of the story to me. Like it is a classic monster movie. Like it's the first summer blockbuster that ever was. Mm-hmm. And I saw this in cinemas. Well, actually, I saw it. It was the very first movie I saw in the drive-in, and I saw it the weekend it opened.
But this moment is it kind of feels like, maybe they all started getting along as well at this point, like off screen and on screen.
Well, you know what? That's the brilliance of cinema. Is
Yeah.
that we'll never know because Steven Spielberg did an amazing job making us think they did. Right?
Yeah.
Actually, they came together at first through Scars, and I think that was the thing too, is that Shaw starts singing the Spanish Ladies, but it's Richard Dreyfuss that's saying "Show Me the Way to Go Home."
I mean, you know
Right?
what? I also misspoke. Technically, this musical moment starts with whales. And then Spanish Ladies, and then Show Me the Way to Go Home. Do you feel like I'm just playing, devil's advocate, with this. Do you feel like there
Hail
may have
Satan.
been like a head to hell Satan? Do you feel like there may have been like a better song or a different song they could have sang in this moment?
I don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of, like, if you go back to the 70s, there wasn't like iconic war type sailor songs were more like the 40s from like World War II, right? And so for this one, I think the reason it's so good is because it is one of those ones that it's a sing-along, right? Like everybody's just join in and sing because it just repeats itself until everybody gets tired of singing it, right? But the other side of it is the lyrics itself, right? Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed, right? And they're drinking. I had another drink. So it's basically just them. It's a drinking song, and they're like, yeah, let's fucking kill this fucking shark, and get home.
Meanwhile, while they're drunk and singing this, the shark starts attacking their boat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, at this point, I still don't think they have a clue how they're going to kill it, right? Because they've already seen it at that point, and they know it's massive.
Yeah, because they've already shot it with that first barrel.
Yeah. So, I mean, they know this thing's massive, and, it's like, how are they going to kill this shark? Because that little harpoon is not going to do it. And, we all know, even if you hadn't seen this movie like as many times as I've seen it, probably at least 50, that, this...
I'm like a tenth of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? It is one of my favorite movies of all times. It's just, I think it's a perfect movie. And the fact that Spielberg makes a horror movie for his first movie and then never makes really a horror movie again.
I mean, I wouldn't really call this a horror movie.
Oh, it's definitely a horror movie for sure. Like this movie, even to this day, people who've seen this movie will not go into the ocean.
Also, I'm going to have a hot take that has nothing to do with the song, just the movie in general. The mayor is the real villain of this movie.
Oh, totally.
Not the shark.
Yeah,
Not
no,
the-
the shark.
The shark is just living his best life.
Yeah, he's like, it's dinner time. Let's eat.
It's the mayor. Fuck the
Oh,
mayor.
totally. Yeah, fuck that mayor. Yeah, totally. He's totally. I love it how he's like the point after where everybody knows kind of that the shark is there, and he's got the city councilors kind of. They're all at the beach, and he goes up to the one guy and he's like,
go in the water.
Get your ass in the water. And if I was him, I would have looked up at him and said, where's your fat ass and why isn't it in the fucking water? Like, you're the mayor. Like, you want to show solidarity for this beach. Get your ass in the water.
Yeah, fuck that mayor.
Yeah, fuck that mayor bad.
Hello, I am Kevin, actor and cosplayer and podcaster. Yay!
And we're here to talk about...
Hail Caesar!
So why did you want to talk about this? Or you gave me a couple options, but why was this on the list?
It was recently brought up by somebody at work. I'm like, oh yeah, there's that. And it's something that I've seen the clip around the internet before I even saw the movie. So it's something that just sticks with you. It's one of those memorable scenes, I think.
Yeah, and what's interesting about Hail Caesar is, like, obviously they are doing a very specific time period in film history. It's the Golden Age. So they're playing... There are other songs in this besides No Dames, which we will get to in a second. But I do want to kind of talk about the other ones, because they... also are kind of tropey in their own way, i.e. the Mermaid Ballet that Scarlett Johansson is a part of.
Oh my
like
gosh.
that was a whole like genre of movies that they like put into that like 2 minutes of this film with Esther Williams. Oh, goddess.
Amazing.
And then they have Lazy Old Moon that
The little
Alden
country song.
Ehrenreich sings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like randomly within like the universe of like Hollywood, Alden Ehrenreich and I forget her name, but they sing "Glory of Love," and I'm just like, this is a
Right. Random. I just thought beaches.
yes, where you're like, okay, that seems like you're 3 drinks in, and all of a sudden, you're like, oh, let's just sing the song that the band is playing.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get to what we're here to talk about, which is No Dames. That song, my God, this movie is weird to begin with, but then you get to
It's
that
super
song, and I was like, it feels like they were inspired by Cole Porter's Tongue in Cheek, with a lot of his songs, but yeah, it's just so silly. And then they start
There's
dancing.
Jokes, just these little secret jokes they have in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because what's interesting is like it's a very gay song, right?
Yes.
Let's call spade a spade here. And then at the end they start all the sailors, like in a gay fantasia, just start dancing with each other. And you're like, yeah, you guys are totally heterosexual.
I mean, yeah, they're practically humping at one point,
Yes.
That's
it's
the
like
that's the whole thing.
It's like a 3-way.
Yeah.
But like Channing Tatum, like we all know he's a dancer because of the Step Up movies.
Yes.
But him being a singer was a surprise.
Right.
But still, it just looked like everyone was having so much fun being questionably gay. I could see you in a sailor suit doing something like this.
I mean, I'm so down. And like, it was just so funny because like in the lyrics too, they say something like there's all these euphemisms for a vagina, like there's not gonna be any clams or whatever, or mermaids or whatever. And then it goes to like, but we're gonna see a lot of each other, we're gonna see a lot of sea, and then you and me, and like all, it's like, okay, it's super tongue-in-cheek. It's
I was also partially waiting for you to be like, yeah, I'm one of the sailors in the background, I was totally there.
Yeah, I was totally in this, so yeah. Surprise.
Oh my God. But yeah, it's the good thing about the songs in this, like the Mermaid Ballet and No Dames. I'm not sure about Lazy Old Moon. I think that one is like a actual song, but No Dames is clearly original for this. And God bless the Coen brothers for at least having the forethought to be like, yeah, let's write a musical number.
Right. At the swinging dinghy.
The swinging dinghy. I didn't even notice that.
Swinging dinghy, it's so. And then like he's like Pete, he's like, you're gonna have to. I'm like, it's all these little funny little like, ooh.
He's supposed to be obviously like a Fred Astaire or Gene Kelly type character.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I don't know what other song you would write for this moment besides all the innuendo and like, because if you like go back and watch a lot of these movies from this time period, there's a lot going on that they're not saying, but they are saying.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
I'm guessing, I feel like it was probably inspired too by On the Town musical, because that's all the sailors and stuff.
Yeah, of course. Well, and that's Gene Kelly. Yes?
Yes.
I've done it twice. I should know the answer to this question. I know Frank Sinatra's in it. That's all I got.
There you go. I know I read somewhere that initially it was supposed to be like on a battleship, and they weren't going to do a tap number at all. It's going to be something different. And then it kind of switched to this.
I mean, the tap makes it. And like the highly choreographed moment with the bartender pulling the tablecloths and then they're jumping. I'm like, that in and of itself must have been so hard.
Right.
So
Oh my
much
gosh.
time, like, perfecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's like, it's so interesting because, like, this is a movie about making movies in the golden age. So you're seeing some things happening in this scene, and it's so cool, but also just like a huge joke.
Right. I remember too, because like at this time in my life when this came out, 2016, I didn't watch it then, but I was not a big Channing Tatum fan.
Oh, really?
I was annoyed by him. I saw Magic Mike. I was like, ugh, he can't act, and this is terrible. He bothers me. I'm like, I don't care about Step Up. I don't care. I was just so over Channing Tatum. But like, this is one of those roles where I'm like, oh, I kind of like him in this, or like, you know, he started to grow on me. I feel like he's improved a lot over the years. So I'm like, okay, he's pretty okay.
He's
now.
starting to have fun, you know, because
right.
because like 21 Jump Street was a big joke as well, and then this one, like, he's playing a doofy character who turns out to be a huge communist at the end. Spoiler alert. But who's also, like, very gay and maybe is sleeping with all the writers that are also communists. But it's just, like, it's so silly and so fun. Like, his scenes, I should say, in this. The whole movie is not silly.
It's not my
any way.
favorite, but yeah.
No. They all can't be the Big Lebowski.
No.
Hi, my name is Lauren Guyton.
And we're here to talk about
Phineas and Ferb, Season 2, Episode 64, Rollercoaster the Musical.
At least I think it's episode 64. Some places call it a different... I don't know. I've never seen the show personally. So this was my first episode.
Wow, I've seen it
Which...
more than I can account for.
Which... Okay. Why did you pick this as an episode? Or as your segment for this episode?
Because this show in particular is like one of the best like musical shows. I know like a lot of shows have like random music episodes, but this show they make sure they have a song in every single at least one song in every single episode. And this one they wanted to do a musical, and that's what they did. I thought it was pretty good.
Which... We could have done this as an episode in and of itself, but I'm kind of glad we didn't, because, like, the episode is 24 minutes, and we would be, like, scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
But I have to say, as a first-time viewer, like, these writers love musicals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is because they make all the references and everything.
Yes. Dan and
Sorry,
Swampy.
I interrupted.
No, you're okay. I believe Dan Povenmire, I think he might have written on The Simpsons. They don't really have musical numbers, though. Now that I'm thinking of Family Guy. I don't know if he's written on that, though.
But at least, like, not only are there visual references, like in the first song in Hey Ferb, where they're doing like Cats and Phantom and all that.
I love it.
Like every song in this episode is a different genre.
Yes.
Where when we went to which song was it? I think it was back in Gilmore Stump or whatever. The guy that voices the villain. I was like, oh my god, his poor voice.
That's Dan Povenmire. Dan Povenmire
Oh,
voices,
the right.
Yep. Yep.
But like, I have to say, first episode, for me, I understood all these characters very clearly through their songs.
Yeah.
You know, like you
I
got.
think if
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I think if anybody has never seen the show, that it would be a great first episode because it's based off of the pilot, just redone with different songs.
Oh, because they kept making reference to it, and I was like, obviously, I haven't seen this before, but it's good to that you know, it's fun, it's cute, it's I mean, I know it's for kids because it's a Disney show, but I mean, this is a fun episode for the parents as well, or adults who are watching it.
Oh yeah, I watch it every day. But yeah, this I don't remember what I was gonna say. Never mind.
But I mean, I love that. So, like I said, we could have done a whole episode on this, but who will be umming and eyeing and figuring out words left and right to fill an hour. But like, it's fun. It's like great to catch up on things. They make a lot of jokes. 'Cause in the pilot, when they built the first roller coaster, was the villain subplot the same as well?
Yes.
Okay, because they kept they kept saying like, "Oh, deja vu" or something like that, and it's like, I don't know if it's like 2 episodes that they combined, but I also have to give them credit that they wrote like 10 original songs for this, and granted, 3 of them is the Monogram Box song, which is the I don't know that character's name.
Major Monogram.
Thank you. Oh, duh.
Played by Swampy Marsh.
So, okay. So you said that there are musically moments throughout, but but is this one like the more iconic musical?
Yes. Yeah, this is like the only episode really that they have like majority songs in. Yeah, it's like the most musical episode that they've had, other than like the quote unquote finale of the show.
Oh, why is it in quotes?
Because they brought it back, and they have season 5.
Oh, okay. And then
which don't tell them, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's okay. You watch it when you get to it. We won't tell anybody. It's not like this is going to be on a public forum anywhere. But so then, like, so in this one they're making meta commentary about like how it's them redoing the pilot episode. Do they do that a lot throughout?
No, they have, obviously every show has their own like running jokes, but this one is like the only one that they redid, versus like they had an episode where they had like the unfair science fair / unfair science fair redux, or whatever the word was, and they had like 2 different perspectives on the same plot though, or not same plot, but like the same episode. So that's like kind of similar. But yeah, this one it's literally just the same episode, except they added the songs and like redid some of the lines.
Yeah, okay. Because this episode was really fun, I have to say. And, you know, maybe I'll watch the show at some point, but, like, I don't know. It's a
nice show if you want to watch it, like, you know, I need something to watch before bed, or I'm bored, so let me just put this on.
It's for us older folk, not children, it seems like it's kind of like, for me, so if this was out when I was in high school, for me, like when I was in high school and I was homesick, I would watch Blue's Clues, even though I was a teenager at the time. But like Blue's Clues is on because nothing else is on, you know?
Right.
But I feel like this Phineas and Ferb is a similar thing, where it's like, if you're older and you're not feeling well and you just want something that you can zone out on, like... But this, I mean, I have to commend this episode because it is so smart and very well written. And I was tee-hee-heeing at all the musical references that they were making.
I personally think it should have won an Emmy. I really do. If it hasn't, they need to just give them one.
Yeah, because then Kenny Ortega shows up.
Yes. Like, just when you thought it couldn't get any better.
I love that
Disney.
I love that he just shows up, says like 3 lines, and then leaves. And because like that's another meta-y moment in this episode where they are doing like the big grand finale. They stop, get notes from their choreographer or director or both, and then finish. And it's just so good.
Very.
I understand when you said it's time for Phineas and Ferb, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's a great show.
And like again, all original music. Even though some of them are like 15 seconds. Because I mean, it's a 25 minute long episode. Really, probably like 22 when you incorporate like credits and all that.
Yeah.
So they couldn't do like 2 minute, 3 minute long songs. So they are pretty short, but they, like, what you doing? I don't know what the character's name is, but I understood who she is.
Isabella.
Thank you. And then like, it's really fascinating because I think is there a running gag that Ferb doesn't talk throughout?
Yes. He only says like maybe 50 lines total in the show.
Damn! And 3 of them are in this episode.
Yeah. And Thomas Brody Sanger, who was the original voice of Ferb, he got made bank for a little bit, like free for a little bit of work. Good for him.
Good for him. But is there anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see what I got. Obviously the opening number, I like being able to point out every single musical reference. Of course, everybody talks about that moment. There's a little blink and you miss it part if you've seen the episode Phineas and Ferb's Quantum Boogaloo, where they went to the future, and it was a plot line where future Candace went back to the past to bust her brothers, and she went back to the future and it messed everything up, of course. And so when she came back, there was another Candace that she had to stop. So that episode happened, and then we have Phineas and Ferb, we have Rollercoaster musical, and if you look in the background of where Linda and Candace are walking back to the car after the grocery trip, you can see them hiding.
The Candace from the future?
Yeah.
Oh. I have to say as well, during Mom Look, and then I think during the song Aren't You a Little Young, I loved that the ensemble, is what I'm going to call them to make it more of a musical, are all the same character design. So like in Mom Look, all the moms at the supermarket are the same. I think even the kids are the same too.
Yeah, they do that a lot, and I don't know if they've ever talked about it like on a podcast or something. But they've done that with, obviously, what animator hasn't done that with like redoing it, but I think they do it like to make it funny on purpose. Like there was an episode at the beginning of season 2 where there's this one guy, he's passing by the frame, and then he passes by again, and then he passes by again. So yeah, that probably just a thing that they love to do.
I mean, obviously they're masters at their craft, and you can tell that if they don't have like a deep love of musical theater, they definitely appreciate it, and they wanted to craft something, amazing that upholds like the Disney name.
Hi, I'm Scott. I'm a podcaster. I do podcast things from time to time.
And we're here today to talk about
Happy Gilmore.
I haven't seen this movie in forever, so this was a great nostalgia trip for me.
I saw this movie instead of seeing Muppet Treasure Island as a kid. I picked this over Muppet Treasure Island.
In terms, though, of like a movie, it's not that bad for kids. Because I watched this as a kid a lot too.
Yeah, but let's not forget the sprinkler.
I mean, yes, but it goes with the character. It's not because, like, you realize this probably over the years of podcasting that, like, going back and watching comedy movies, like, some of them age like spoiled milk.
Yeah.
So this one though was very fascinating, and I'm very intrigued to know why you picked this one.
Well, I picked it mainly for the endless love scene.
Yes, which I was rewatching it and being like, I don't remember them singing "Endless Love," and then you get to the scene, I'm like, oh, well, the Zamboni guy is lip syncing, so we could count it. But
well, also like there's the musicality of like his happy place, Happy's happy place, and then when Chubb starts when he
he
goes,
sings "We've Only Just Begun."
yeah, when he goes, shut up, Happy. I got my other hand back. Like, this is a secretly musically movie.
Yeah, well, because Adam Sandler.
Well,
is,
yeah. And like I always associated this with music because like I thought, didn't someone pick a while ago Wedding Singer?
Yeah, but that one actually they perform in the movie.
Right. Well, you don't call Sandler going up to the speaker going, I wanna kiss you all over.
Yeah, but this one, it was just so funny to revisit this and the endless love moment. Okay, I see what you're talking about. I kind of wish he sang along a little bit or something.
Well, I also picked that because like growing up, so if people don't know who I am, they haven't listened to my other 600 episodes that I've been on,
or your 10,000 other podcasts.
Yeah, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and yes, we had school dances, but being a skating city, like a school dance could be ice skating, like doing like.
Interesting.
So I picked this because when I was 10 years old, my first boy girl like birthday party was at a ice skating rink, and because of Happy Gilmore, they played Endless Love, and a girl I had a crush on when I was 10 years old. Isn't that adorable? I was 10 or 11. Isn't that cute?
Okay. Yeah.
But
I mean, they could have picked something more offensive, but Endless Love is a cute little song, but I'm just like, for 10-year-olds, like, that's a...
Well, it was 96. It was because of Happy Gilmore.
That's fair. Yeah. 1996 is a good year.
Yeah. Yes.
I was 8.
But yeah, I just like, I associate with like holding hands and ice skating as a form of dancing. I mean, the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, have we not seen Alyssa Liu?
Oh my God, yes. I mean, I could see her doing a routine to Endless Love as like an homage.
Yeah.
In a way.
But I specifically picked it because of the Zamboni driver. That man is going through something.
Who's a fan, apparently, of Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. I don't know why I always thought that the guy had like stereotypical Irish accent, but rewatching it, I'm like, no, he doesn't. He's not a Simpsons character.
Which there is, like, in this movie, there are 2 other songs in it.
Yeah.
One we've talked about, We've Only Just Begun, but then the other one, Kiss You All Over, where he sings it to his ex-girlfriend, but then has sex with the old woman. Like, come on, that's so funny.
But then you also have, like, when Shooter gets into his head and goes to his happy spot, like, he is, like, dressed as evil Elvis, and he's, like, doing the Shooter dance. Like,
which, that actor just forever, his face is forever emblazed in my head, because now every time I see him in like later projects and everything, I'm like, Shooter.
Well, as you know, I auditioned for the Leave It to Beaver movie, and he was Ward Cleaver.
I don't think I knew that.
You didn't?
Actually, I'm learning more about your lore.
I know
knew you were
Kendra
a
did.
child actor.
I auditioned for 2 movies as a kid. I auditioned for Little Rascals when I was 7 or 8, and I auditioned for the Leave It to Beaver movie when I was 8 or 9.
Oh my god, you're so talented. I'm so glad
you.
that I'm finding more out
because I
about your
totally
lore.
got them.
Hey, the fact that you auditioned is more than what I can say about my life. So, to go
Yeah.
back to Happy Gilmore,
Yeah.
do you think though, like,
The villain was right. Yes, I do. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
do you think though, like, Endless Love, like, could there have been another song in its place? We're just speculating here. Like, what other
So
songs
what
could they
I
have
read-
danced to?
What I read originally, it was Time of Your Life from Dirty Dancing.
Oh,
But that's
ooh.
too iconic, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, unless they were going to do a whole, like, figure skating routine to it, which that would have been also on brand, it feels like.
Yeah. I would have
Especially with
loved
Adam Sandler movies. Yeah.
I would have loved for him to have a crush on the mouse girl from An American Tail, and they're dancing to Somewhere Out There.
No. Oh my god. Scott.
What? Everyone has a crush on Robin Hood Fox.
That's true. You're right. You're right. You're right. But
And
yeah,
also, I do want to point out that I picked like 6 other movies to give you options from. I sent you a
Yeah.
list of 6, and you were so
I
intrigued.
picked this one because I was just like, I don't remember them singing "Endless Love" in it, and I thought it was like a karaoke thing or something.
It was a lip sync battle. Technically, it was a one-sided lip sync.
One-sided lip sync, yes. Which
But, like-
I mean, Shantae, you stay, Zamboni guy.
Like, because I grew up being like, what is wrong with that poor man? Something happened to him.
But it kind of goes with like Adam Sandler movies of the time. That there's,
Oh yeah. So
there's always like fucked up side characters. So
this was the same as the putting the lipstick on in Billy Madison to ELO telephone line.
or I mean, it's kind of also similar to Rob Schneider's character. Is it Rob Schneider in Waterboy? You Can Do It? Is that him?
A little bit. I would say in Waterboy it's The Water Sucks.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, there's something about Adam Sandler in sports movies, because he did this, that, and was he Longest Yard remake?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, there's a whole plot point of grown-ups where they play a basketball game, a pickup basketball game, like.
but yeah, and watching him, like, he's actually skating. So I guess ice hockey was in his past in a way. Actually, Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler's from Manchester, New Hampshire, which is literally like 30 minutes away from where I am right now. And
I knew you were gonna say something. I was waiting for you to be like, "It's a hop, skip, and a jump away." Huh? See?
okay, so I actually had a funny story for you that I was gonna just text you randomly, because you and I live in like tri-county areas, and my wife's friends were visiting from areas that like it would take you an entire day and you wouldn't cross the state that they live in. Okay. And we brought them here, and we basically, they're like, oh man, Salem, Mass is far, and then we're there like 40 minutes later. They're like, what? Like, you could travel from the Cape all the way to the other side of Massachusetts in under a day.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So me saying like Adam Sandler grew up 30 to 45 minutes away is not insane, but he was a huge Boston Bruins fan. That's
Which he
why
wears that jersey a lot.
That's,
right?
why
That's why
he's wearing Bobby Orr's jersey. I I'm a Bruins guy. I'm a Bruins.
I don't care.
Like I know these
Hockey,
things.
yay.
But like something about the couple skate, as I call it, is just so sweet.
It is a nice first date. I will say that.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole premise of this. It's their date, and then he bets her that if she can't make the puck in the goal, she has to kiss him, but she ends up kissing him anyway.
Yeah, there's something very it's a very like Rogers and Hammerstein like dream skate.
I mean, every so often we sometimes question what is a musical on the podcast. So I was like, okay, like this is obviously one of those moments where we're questioning what is a musical moment.
Well, I thought we were picking a scene from a non-musical movie that is very musical.
Yeah. But I'm agreeing with you.
Unless I'm having a stroke and I read that wrong.
No, but I was hoping more like they were performing it. But this is more like it's their internal monologue. Like
yeah, but also again, when I was a kid, though I did a lot of musical theater, when my parents didn't want me singing, I had to lip sync. So I consider lip syncing like singing because, No,
but I'm saying I 100% agree with you. It is a very musical-y moment. It's like where music is an important part of this scene. And like, I know I was playing devil's advocate by asking if there was anything else, but I don't think there's another song like Endless Love at the time that this came out that would be perfect for this moment.
No, the only thing I could think of is 2 years later, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith.
Right, but that's 2 years later.
Right. I consider 96 to 98 the same year.
Okay. Might as well be.
Lousy smarch weather. Yeah, because like the only pastiche songs was that they could have skated to The Way We Were. They could have skated to what was that Bryan Adams and Barbra Streisand song that came out this year for The Mirror Has Two Faces?
I have no idea. But I feel like Endless Love though is that stereotypical like not meet cutie, but like first datey or it's this for like what you were saying, how they played it at the dance. Granted, I'm hoping the characters are older than 10 years old, but like it's the song at the end of the dance where they kiss. Yeah. And it's perfect for this moment.
Yep. I ended up falling on my tush.
My name's Jacqueline, and I'm John's sister.
And we're here to talk about
Season 1, Episode 12 of Veronica Mars, Clash of the Tritons.
I think I binged this show either during the pandemic or right before the pandemic, but like...
It's a good one.
It's a good one. I was a little late to the game. I'll say that. But rewatching it for this, I was so lost.
Really? You didn't keep the episodes going afterwards while you were like doing other things in the house? Because that's what I did. I just kept it on in the background.
I mean, part of me was watching this and I was like, I should just like start this from the beginning. And I didn't watch the rebooted season.
Not worth it.
Not worth it. Okay. Wait, maybe I did and I just don't remember it.
That's fair.
Same with the movie. But why did you want to talk about this for this episode?
Yeah, because I don't know. It just always stuck out to me. So I watched this in undergrad and it always stuck out to me that all of a sudden Kristen Bell was singing in an episode of a show where she's supposed to be like basically like a private investigator. And I remember thinking when I watched this show originally being like, that's not her. And now with all of her like Disney stuff and like all the singing she does and like learning she's a musical theater kid, I'm like, oh, she actually sings. So that was the inspiration.
Yeah, because my introduction to Kristen Bell was for Reefer Madness, the movie musical.
Okay.
So I knew she could sing, but then obviously this was before that, I believe.
This was like 2001.
Yeah, this was way
somewhere around
before
there.
all
Yeah.
that. So
It's
yeah.
so sorry, really quick. It's so early 2000s coded, right? Like with the
It's
hair and the
so-
clothes. Oh
her
my God.
hair that she has, the wavy. I was like, why aren't they doing that on Euphoria? If we're
Well,
going back to those trends.
If I may, I feel like Euphoria no longer has the stylist or makeup and hair artist that they used to, because there's no way that's the same show as season 1.
But I mean, like in season 1, I'm surprised they didn't of Euphoria they didn't do that. Or like, I don't know. I'm expecting some Gen Z movies these days to have that type of hair part. But but yeah, everything, even like the vibe of the episode was so early 2000.
The cars.
The cars.
I'm sorry.
Everything.
The title song. It's one of my favorites. Still to this day.
Fair.
Yeah.
It slaps.
It does.
But so in this episode,
yeah,
she's forced to sing karaoke.
She is.
Which, okay. All right. I mean, it's a good way to like show off her musical theater girliness.
Yeah.
But one way or another.
Because she's singing to the Tritons that she's gonna find them. The secret society. The secret society of Neptune, of course, is the Tritons.
Oh my god. Neptune, California. Yeah.
Yeah.
The secret society of the Neptune High is the
Yeah.
But yeah, because I was just wondering, like, I don't know if there's any other song that would be like as perfect as One Way or Another.
Private eyes are watching you. Which I will say, Ken Marino does sing in a later episode, but that's neither here nor there, because he's the rival.
Episode.
He's the rival PI guy. I mean, come on. Okay, sorry. Enough about Ken Marino. I love him too. But yeah. So, but it is a really well placed song for what they're communicating.
For a hot second, before she like whispered in the MC's ear, I was like, did the Tritons pick this for her as well? Because I think that would be like a little too on
the nose.
It's already on the nose, but it'd be like too on the nose.
No, I think she picked it.
Yeah, and ergo why it's on the nose.
Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna just tell you like it is.
Oh my goodness.
Boys.
But yeah, and it naturally happened.
Yeah.
You know.
It wasn't forced.
It wasn't forced. And like I said, it was like a on the nose song choice. And she killed it. I mean,
yeah.
Kristen Bell can do no wrong vocally.
It was good. Yeah. It's not Deborah Harry, right?
Of course not. I mean, it's karaoke as well, so it's never going to be the artist.
Right. And I will say this, though. I feel like Kristen Bell's voice is too classical for that song. That's the one thing I will say.
Oh.
I think there needs to be more grit behind it. I don't think she has it.
But, I mean, yeah. Yeah, but again, it's
a
karaoke.
Great rendition. Like, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Served the story well.
Well, because she doesn't sing any other episodes, to your knowledge?
To the best of my knowledge, I do not think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she should. She should have.
Well, that wasn't the focus of the show, though. She was...
That's true. She was a private eye.
She was... the one thing I'm sad about is that we didn't get backup in this episode. I would have liked to have talked about him, too.
Which one's backup?
The dog. The dog scene is backup.
Right. It always perplexes me as well. Well, not perplexes me. It always shocks me in a way that the friend...
Wallace?
The bald guy that has all like the face tattoos and everything.
Oh, no. Weevil.
Yeah, he's the kid in Kazam.
What?
The Shaq genie movie. He's the kid.
Wow, I did not know that.
I can't believe you didn't know that.
I didn't. Wow.
But yeah,
No.
I mean, but so yeah, this is just like a fun little episode, and watching this, I was like, of course, The Good Place like just fell into your lap because it's like a similar
vibe.
Yeah.
What I do like about Veronica Mars, which is what I like about a lot of shows, is that like this episode stands on its own, right? Like there's a beginning, middle, and end to the episode, even though there is kind of a story that runs through the season, which is Lily Kane's murder.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like a piece of the puzzle for season 1.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like I did have like more questions, but that's just because like I haven't rewatched it. So like, you know, watching the beginning and being like, oh, Amanda Seyfried is in this, and I forgot she was in it.
Forgot about her.
The other fun fact that I have that I'm not sure you know is Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin, who play husband and wife, are married. Yeah.
Yeah, of course I knew that. And also, did you not watch Traitors? It's Lisa fucking Rinna. Get it right.
Yeah, I mean, Lisa.
Right. Lisa fucking Rinna is what she goes by.
Lisa fucking Rinna. Got it. I'm sorry, I forgot her middle name.
Clearly not a Real Housewives fan either. I'm not either, but I just know that she's on that show now.
No, but I also forgot she was in. Like I forgot all about the show. Besides that, it's Kristen Bell, and her dad is also a PI.
Yes, who I can never remember his name, but he's in everything.
Love him.
I love him. He's great. He's truly great. I also feel like the lady who played the guidance counselor is somebody, but
I feel like I've seen her in other things too.
Yeah. I feel like this is, again, very early 2000s.
Right. Because then you look at their IMDb and you're like, oh, you've done a lot that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or they've been in every show for like 2 episodes. But yeah. But this is a solid show, solid episode. I think if people haven't watched it, they should. It's worth it. It's on Netflix.
Worth it.
Just gonna plug it. Watch Veronica Mars. Don't watch the reboot. Watch the original.
Hi, Sierra Ryan from New York City.
And we're here to talk about
The Mask. This was in my high school years, I guess. High school into college years. I had such a crush on Jim Carrey because of this movie. Let me just tell you.
I could see it.
Big one. This is a big one.
I could see it. So, why did you pick this for this episode?
Well, when you said, okay, musical numbers from not necessarily musicals, I instantly thought about The Mask because it had 3 standout musical moments.
Which I forgot one of them.
I know. Well, you know, some of them are within universe, as in they're doing a performance. But the other ones are magical music, like what we think of as like, why is everyone suddenly being able to dance and sing and there's an orchestra? Well, it's because of magic. It's because of Loki and his mask making magic and cartoonish, musical moments actually happen. So it kind of answers that question to audiences, like, how are they able to dance and sing and know all the choreography together? Oh, magic.
Right, because I wouldn't consider this necessarily a musical movie by any means, but because I, like you, watched this a lot as a kid. Mm-hmm. And then, I have to say, I did watch the whole movie. It does hold up.
I love this movie.
Considering it's from 1994, so it is 32 years old by now?
Yeah. Because it knew when to make things cartoonish. Mm-hmm. And I think it was Jim Carrey's first, he can act normal, as opposed to his Living Color and Ace Ventura kind of overacting. And I think after this was like the ones he was doing the lies one, I can't remember, but where he's like liar liar, where
yes,
he was liar liar.
Because we were at peak comedic actor.
Right.
Slash, I mean, we're seeing a softer side of him in this one.
Yeah, more human. Well, he was able to switch between the two, and he's a little overacting even in the normal parts. But this one, and I think people didn't realize how good a dancer he was, because he danced in Living Color as like the one white guy who was doing like Vanilla Ice parodies, but he could really dance.
I was reading about that because like in Hey Pachucho. Or Pachuco. Him and Cameron Diaz, which, by the way, this is her first movie.
Introduction.
They did the choreography until it got very intricate.
Right.
So
they put a stunt man in a mask, in a green mask, and had him lift a stunt woman.
Yes, yeah. And like doing some of like, and I feel like for her, like some of more the slide on the floor and everything, like. That's definitely not her.
Yeah, exactly.
But that number is iconic. Obviously, we will talk about Cuban Pete in a hot second, but the one that I completely forgot about was G Baby, Ain't I Good For You?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's Cameron Diaz singing in the nightclub. As you said, it's like in the universe.
Right.
But it I think that song does something interesting where it's not necessarily propelling the plot forward, but it is like deepening her character for us, the audience.
Yeah. I mean, it's introducing her obviously to the idea of her being this mob boss lady and having some sort of control, but then kind of getting wrapped up in the whole thing. And it's interesting that they, for that and Hey Pachuco, they intercut with one of the mob thugs being shot because of the bank robbery gone wrong because of the mask
right.
getting involved. So the it's still a setting for plot points throughout, which happens in regular musicals all the time anyway, but it's well sewn into the musical number in general.
Yeah, even though Cameron Diaz is not singing, I want to Susan Boyd is the singing voice for her.
A nice match. Good match.
But it was, and then as I was watching it, I just went, oh right, this is because I think in my brain, Hey Pachuco overshadows Hey G Baby,
right?
Because it's like the live big band number, and then obviously Cuban Pete,
right?
Which, I mean, it's just so iconic at this point.
Yeah, and I want to go back to Hey Pachuco because it the mid 90s, and I'm trying to think of like the time frame of this was during a time when swing music was having a huge resurgence. This was when Swingers the movie came in, and that soundtrack was explosive. I can't remember when Swingers actually was, but it came at this time when even there was the Gap commercial with the 360 camera that could do bullet time, pre Matrix, and everyone was doing. Swing was just like a rediscovery kind of thing. So I had the soundtrack. I listened to this thing over and over and over. And then there was like Heidi, like a rap version of Heidi, Heidi, Heidi Ho. And, so it was definitely within that kind of sort of like, let's rediscover these kind of 1940s kind of swing band era, wonderful things. Yeah, or 30s, 40s, yeah.
In the 80s, there was definitely like a rockabilly moment, so it kind of made sense musically that we were going into swing, because this is before like, oh my god, what's his name, Brian Setzer. Mm-hmm. This was before him and Big Bad Voodoo Daddies.
Voodoo Daddy, yep, and the what was it, the Cherry Poppin' Daddies or something?
Yes,
like that. Yeah.
But both songs, the G Baby and Hey Pachuco, is the iconic yellow suit from this movie, which I forgot it was only for this moment,
section.
I like he has a whole wardrobe, and
all those switches, all those character switches. But it's also a plot point because his tie gets shot into two pieces and transforms into a piece of his pajamas, and that becomes a clue as to who Stanley is. So there's little cute little moments that still function as plot points.
And now, it is time for Cube and Pete, which I have visited this section on YouTube a bunch of times over the years because it's so fun.
I love how they really dig into him using his magic, to bring people into the musicale theater of it all. Whether specifically targeting people or suddenly the policemen are shaking their shoulders like, what the fuck? What is going on? It's kind of like how Schmigadoon is now on Broadway. It's kind of like that kind of feeling of like what kind of voodoo is happening on stage.
I can't think of anything that is kind of meta at this moment where they're aware they're in a musical. Because like we have that one cop, the detective, who is not fazed by this magic by any means.
I don't know what he ate for breakfast that morning that allowed him to block off the magic of Cuban Pete or of Loki.
Adulthood, I guess.
Yeah, he just doesn't give into it. But I love the three policemen that are like swinging with each other and just being joyous. It's lovely.
So a lot of these songs, after doing this podcast for 550 episodes at this point, I appreciated these songs a little bit more because it feels like they were inspired by old Hollywood, classic Hollywood. So like in Cuban Pete, I noticed that he spun around a lamppost and I was like, oh, that's kind of Singing in the Rain-ish.
A little bit, yeah.
The G Baby and Hey Pachuco, I feel like we did Dewberry, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it felt like that type of golden age movie where they're at a club and there's obviously a performance, but it's part of the movie, but it's also a musical number. So
yeah, it's built into the storytelling. Yeah.
One last question. Would there be a better song for any of these moments in your opinion?
I don't know. Maybe I would add one towards the end, maybe. Because R.I.P. the gentleman who played the villain. He passed away like last year, and I can't remember his name, of course. But I kind of wanted there to be a villain song later on in the movie.
Oh,
like maybe I don't know. Obviously, the mask brings about someone's inner, wants and desires to become who they want to become. So, maybe he wouldn't want to start breaking out into song, but I felt like there could have been some moment. And then one of the thugs might be like, "Hey, boss, I didn't know you had it in you," or something like that.
Yeah.
I would have liked that.
Yeah, because I think for me, these three songs, after rewatching the movie, are pretty well solid in the pop culture zeitgeist as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could replace any of them, but I agree with you. I feel like we need
some sort of villain song.
One
and
more.
I like how the at least Pachuco and Cuban Pete are ended with some sort of, someone basically shooting off a gun and going, "Stop it, stop it, stop it."
It slams us back into reality.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't need necessarily an ending or a big finish kind of thing. So those are my my I think as a young musical theater person, and this is before Moulin Rouge. This is before kind of like Chicago and the idea that musical movies could be done again. This was a joyous, like, look, they're lip syncing. I also love that in Cuban Pete, like all the SWAT people in the back were like swinging back and forth.
That is a highly choreographed number that I hope everyone had fun filming.
And the one female cop who's like, he's a really modest guy, although he's the hottest guy. Like she was instantly the stereotype of the New York, chanteuse.
The Audrey.
The Audrey, the take back your mink, the chorus girl.
Adelaide, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I just love that instant stereotype. Just target zero, straight there. That's a choice I would have made anyway. Just right there. Yep.
Hi, my name is Tommy Schwanfelder from Orlando, Florida.
And we're here to talk about
The Golden Girls, Season 6, Episode 26, Henny Penny, Straight No Chaser from 1991.
Wow, 91.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I forget. I feel like the show is more 80s in my head than 90s.
Yeah, I mean,
but we're
the
in the
show,
later years.
Yeah, it was only 7 seasons, and this is season 6. So,
yeah, I saw that this is the end of season 6, but I'm wondering, why did you pick this episode out of all the episodes / all the other options in the world?
Indeed. Well, I figured we already covered MAME on Designing Women, so this is just a fun little independent theater piece, the Henny Penny musical. And the girls didn't have too many real musical episodes, and I absolutely adore the Golden Girls. But I was like, how can I work my love for Golden Girls and theater together? The Henny Penny episode.
You're right. And you gave me another option, and I was just like, let's do Golden Girls. And I'm also surprised you didn't pick the one where they sing the Miami song. Miami is nice.
Well, and any piano player worth his salts can play that. His or her salts can just, rip that one out right then and there. But this one I figured encompassed theater, and we get a whole production.
Even though it's all the same song.
Oh, yes. Fair. No, true.
Just different lyrics.
It's like a Weber show.
Oh my God, you went there. You went there. I almost spit out my water.
He did, everyone. He really did.
Oh my goodness. And they will see it because we're doing this for the YouTubes as well. Oh. But yeah, so I've like dabbled in Golden Girls. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I've ever actually seen this episode before. But like, I would catch it sometimes when it was on. But yeah. This was just a cute episode that it all comes together.
And literacy. Hey, we're advocating literacy.
They set it up so nicely that obviously, we're talking about a musical episode. So we know, granted, it's also been, wait, what did you say, 91?
Yeah.
So it's
wait, I can tell you exactly. Because this episode aired on May 4th. 1991. So this episode is 35 years old plus whatever, a few days as of recording this right now. So May 4th. So 35 years and whatever, 10.
So 35 years later, we know that they're going to perform, but it was like it was just so fascinating that I'm like, only in Florida will there be a measles outbreak.
Yep, where every child in the class is quarantined.
Every child in the class is quarantined, and then these women and some random dude who I think was the director?
Yeah, he was the director of the school play. And my only question really as to the theatrics of this whole show was Dorothy comes in with the news that she is now the producer of this first grade, I think, play. So what are the jobs of a producer on a first grade public school play?
Listen.
The writers
it's also words. Florida, so it could just be anything.
Hey.
And in the 90s, so it's literally anything. It might just be like a glorified title for for what's about to happen. However, in this episode, I can't believe they made this joke about Dorothy singing Old Man River.
Yep, and I did the math on that one too. Dorothy, I think, was a little younger than B. Arthur actually was, because B. Arthur would have graduated in 1940. But Dorothy's a little younger, so Dorothy would have graduated in maybe like 1945. That a high school is doing Showboat, and she's playing Joe.
You know what that means.
Yeah, I sure do.
we
do not speak its name, but yes.
Yeah, I write my own notes for this one, and I kind of wish I was able to use like the eyes emoji, you know? Like, yep. Because I was like, I get it, because it's the most famous at that time song for a bass singer, and B. Arthur definitely has a lower registered voice.
That's very nice of you. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I get the idea of the joke, but I'm still just like, girls. But then we get into the actual performance, which is basically like the third act of the episode. So you know how like
yep.
The structure of shows where there's Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So this is basically all of Act 3 is the show.
Absolutely, you're right.
Where they talk about it, and then Rose has like this whole
moral
conundrum.
Dilemma.
Yeah. Where I'm more intrigued as to like why they went the British route than the American route with the name. Because Henny Penny is Chicken Little.
Oh, I'm 47 years old, everyone. I have never thought of that.
You are welcome, Tommy.
You got me on childhood reading and the Golden Girls. Wow.
I mean, I get it. I guess it's good for like the Foxy Loxy, Henny Penny, you know, the rhyming scheme of it all. But I'm still just like, I wonder if like maybe in the 90s it was still called Henny Penny or 90s Florida.
in Miami. Now,
Miami is nice.
I think because without even thinking about it, that I've always known. So if you said Henny Penny, I would think Golden Girls now, but I still knew that story. If you said Chicken Little, I'd still know the same story. I never in a billion years made the connection that they're the exact same story. Wow.
You're welcome, Tommy. Hey, you learned your new thing for the day.
I did.
You're done. Whew. You can go take a nap.
Oh, God. I just woke up 2 hours ago, so sure, great.
Great, go take a nap because you're like, we did it. But goodbye, world.
Print. Okay, we can stop recording.
I mean, it's cute. I thought like it's so fascinating when shows like this do a performance, do a musical, because it's always thrown together at the last minute, and then they have like these elaborate costumes and props and like
a moving set.
And the set, I was about to say, set, like, even though it looks simple, like, the fact that they were able to figure out a rigging system for all of this.
And even though they were, quote-unquote, basic, look at the paint jobs on that background, look at the pieces moving. That's really good painting.
For an elementary school.
School, yes.
I always thought she taught college. Did she teach college at one point?
Yep, she was a substitute teacher. Actually, she mostly did high schools and stuff like that. Elementary schools, like middle school and high schools, where she generally was. But she is a licensed substitute teacher, so she goes wherever they need her. It makes the storyline more flexible.
Yeah, because then obviously, you know, some days she's teaching elementary school, like now, and then other days she's like, these teenagers.
But what's so weird is wherever she teaches, she gets fully invested. For many plot lines, she's substitute teaching for like either a month, 2 months, like these extended periods of time for whatever reason. And they usually tell us why she's there for so long. But it's just...
They need to write her out in some scenes or something.
Yeah, she's teaching that class. Again.
Yeah. She's still there. And so when they announced the measles outbreak and they cast the women, they never mentioned Sophia. So I was just like, is she, watching it, I was like, is she going to be a part of it? I mean, why wouldn't she be? Because, like, Sophia, I think, has the best written jokes, like the quippy one-liners.
Within
out of
the Henny Penny show or within the episode? I mean, both.
I mean, out of the four of them,
of course. Yep.
I think she's like the quick wit, so like when she was making fun of Dorothy still being single, like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But, prior to like her coming out on stage as the narrator in like thigh-high boots.
I wrote that. Those heels, those thigh-high with like, not stilettos, but those are good 2 inchers on there. I'm like, good for
They were
her.
like, they looked like patent leather.
Again, this school's
like,
got a budget.
Get it, Estelle Getty.
But I love that she walks kind of like, still like a little old lady in those boots.
And she was the youngest out of the four, right? Like Estelle, or one of the youngest.
She was one of the youngest, and she was younger than Dorothy, than B. Arthur.
Yeah. But you get her in that wig, and all of a
Yes.
sudden she's 80 years old, or however old she's supposed to be.
Exactly.
But yeah, this was a fun episode.
I enjoyed it greatly, and shout out, speaking of theater, to George Hearn coming in as Frank Nan, who is the director of the show. So he is Sweeney Todd. He's the one on the video.
Okay.
And and 2-time Tony Award winner, and that's why at the end of the Henny Penny show, he does his thing with the fork and the knife, and that's why he holds them up like that. It's a joke for the Sweeney Todd crowd because he's holding up the razor. That's why he does it.
I didn't even clock that.
I and mine shall dine bon appetit. And he's holding up. That's Sweeney Todd.
Kudos to them. They're so smart on this show. I feel like I need to like binge this, but like not actually binge it. Like
you got 7 years of it. Yeah, ease up. Just take them like 2 episodes at a time. You'll get there.
Put them on right before I go to sleep.
Yes, and you can learn by osmosis and just absorb it while you're sleeping.
Well, that, and it's like it's. I feel like yes, the Old Man River joke wasn't good, was never good, but overall, I feel like the show, and you can attest to this more than I can, because like I said, I haven't watched it all in a while, but I feel like the jokes still hold up.
Absolutely.
It's still clean, fun comedy.
There's an episode or two that will definitely, even in 1988 or whatever, whenever it aired, there's certain episodes, especially involving either Dorothy's appearances, or there's an episode where we meet Blanche's granddaughter and her weight. And it's really, Sophia especially, is really mean. I'm not saying people didn't laugh at the jokes, but like, it's really mean.
Yeah. And there's like a couple gay episodes.
Yep.
Gay characters, I should say.
And an AIDS episode too.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I have my homework to do then. But
they handle it really well. And even the gay episodes, we meet Blanche's brother who's gay. Spoiler alert, you learn it in the first episode you meet him. And it's all dealt with though so well. And to have gay characters who are definite stereotypes, but there's whole episodes and whole other podcasts all about this. But they're handled actually really well. Are they there for the joke? Yes. But there's never any major disrespect to those characters. There's zippy one-liners back and forth, and luckily they throw back. The character throws back, but it's just, there's a few little one-offs, but there's some memorable, clearly gay characters. And before any Golden Girls people come for me, I have to make it clear, I had to look it up. So when the show started, Estelle Getty was 62, B. Arthur was 63, Rue McClanahan was 51, and Betty White was also 63, same age as B.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Estelle was second youngest. Whew, I had to get that off my conscience.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Hi, guys. I'm Hannah. I'm the co-host of Not My Fantasy Podcast.
And we're here to talk about
Parks and Rec, Season 3, Episode 16, Lil Sebastian.
So, as I've told you, I've never seen an episode of Parks and Recreation.
I'm so glad this is your first episode.
This is my first episode. So, okay. Somebody else picked The Office. But this isn't a spin-off of The Office. This is a spin-off of 30 Rock. Kind of.
No, I think it's not really a spin-off. I think it was inspired by Mike Schur's time on The Office. So Mike Schur was the creator of Parks and Rec. He worked a lot on The Office. He also then did, oh my God, what's that show called?
30
Where they're
Rock?
in hell. Oh God, I
The Good
spoiled the
Place.
whole show.
The Good
Yes,
Place.
The Good Place. So.
Oh, okay. Because out of context, just watching this one episode, which you're like, it's hilarious that you're just gonna watch this. It was kind of just like it was as funny as The Good Place, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's doing that mockumentary style of The Office.
Yeah.
Okay, so why did you pick this?
I picked this musical moment of the show because Parks and Rec, I think, captures what it is to live in the Midwest. And I can't quite explain that because I've also lived in Indiana. I grew up in Ohio, and Parks and Rec is set in Pawnee, Indiana, which is not a real place, but honestly, it very well could be. And they do these festivals throughout the show, and there's always some like weird, fun musical thing. But I think this is one of the weirder ones because we've got Andy Dwyer, played by Chris Pratt, and he's in this band Mouse Rat, which appears a lot throughout the show. But then there's also Lil Sebastian, and I'm so glad, again, this is your first episode, because Adam Scott's character, Ben, famously does not understand everyone's obsession with Lil Sebastian. Of course, I, as a lover of the show, understand. You, as a non-viewer of the show, you're like, what is Lil Sebastian? So that's why this is also perfect.
Part of me was wondering if Lil Sebastian was like a MacGuffin for the episode, or if it was a recurring character or a bit. Now I'm glad I know it's the latter.
And what's interesting about Lil Sebastian is I think he only is in one other episode, and I think it's the same season. And then he dies. So
okay, so he has a 2-episode arc.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So okay, 5,000 candles in the wind.
He takes his directions. Andy Dwyer takes directions so seriously. Candle in the Wind is an Elton John song written for Princess Di, right?
Yes.
And so she's like, okay, that's the thing, is like, that's how serious this is to the town that Lil Sebastian died. That's their Princess Di. Okay. And then Andy Dwyer is an idiot. He takes the instructions so seriously. He's like, 5,000 candles in the wind. You wanted Candle in the Wind 5,000 times better. Here you go.
Yeah, I was expecting literally them taking Candles in the Wind, but making it about the horse.
Interesting. You thought it was going to be like a cover.
Yeah, or a little more...
Or parody cover.
Yeah, a little more jokey than what we got. Because what was the name of their band?
Mouse Rat.
Mouse Rat. Do they always go so hard with their songs?
Oh my... I guess maybe we should have started with The Pit. I fell in the pit. Maybe that should have been it. That's all the way from season 1. Another great musical moment. But I think this one is just, they do go so hard. There's also fun lore about the band that I don't know if it's been resolved at this point in the show or not, or if it like is about to get started. No, it's already been resolved. Gosh, but it's also just so funny because you're seeing him writing the song, and you see his idiocy on display,
Yeah. I have to say as well, so not only 5,000 candles in the wind, but I was paying attention to the other music in this episode, because a lot of it is a punchline.
Yeah.
So like we first get Man, I Feel Like a Woman, which was so funny because they were like, it's a moment, let's have a moment of silence, and then you hear ba ba da 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 da.
And this is not really a thing that happens in the show where like these like unnamed characters come in very often. So it's one of those great uses of like just like the world building of like, of course there's a janitor, and this janitor is like doing his job, and as part of that he is just jamming to Shania Twain.
Yes, no questions asked. I'm like, you get it, girl. But then, did you pay attention to the playlist at the memorial after the ceremony or whatever that thing was, where they were all like wrapping up the episode and the storylines, there were two songs that were highlighted that I noticed. One was Wild Horses.
Yes.
And then the other one was Horse with No Name, which I'm
Yeah.
like, kudos to the music supervisor
Yeah.
or whomever for being like, let's do horse themed.
Yeah. But for the moment of silence, they chose Shania Twain. Like they went left field. Where like
Yeah,
it would have been
wait.
so easy to do a horse song, but because it's not a horse song, it's much funnier.
I think I prefer not
Yeah.
a horse song for that moment because like they're having a very serious conversation and they're mourning the loss of like the local celebrity animal. And then it's just like, I mean, honestly, I don't know what other song would be a good option there.
Right.
And like, I get it that they were going for an original song for the tribute, the 5,000 Candles in the Winds. So, but like, I don't know. I also don't know any other horse themed songs that they could play. There must be like more or like a Western or something.
What's that Katie Tunstall song? Black Horse in a Cherry Tree, right? Isn't that what it's called? There's that one. That one
Okay.
kind of bangs.
But like, I feel like for the masses to hear Wild Horses in the background, they're like, oh, I know this one.
Yeah. I mean, and the
So
Lil
funny.
Sebastian memorial song is so iconic in this show that I think, like, this is something that Andy does a couple times where, like, they have these festivals and they get to perform. And I guess to the listeners, I went between this one and toward the end of the series, there's another big festival where there are musical acts, like real actual IRL bands or artists that show up because they're kind of referenced way back in the show. So next season, in season 4, Ben Wyatt has a shirt for Letters to Cleo, which is a band from Boston that Amy Poehler really loved. And he's like obsessed with them. And so when this next concert happens, they get Letters to Cleo. And you get to see Ben Wyatt like freaking out. Genuine is there because Genuine is Donna's cousin. So that is also another great episode. Musical moments where just like Genuine sings Pony. Pony!
Oh,
Wow.
that would have been even funnier because it's about sex.
That would have been. I think that's the other version of that scene where they're having the moment of silence. Pony. He's jamming to Pony.
Yeah. But you know what? I think I gotta say, I think Man, I Feel Like a Woman is a little more of like
it hits.
It slaps
Yeah.
so hard. Yeah. I'm intrigued that it's Chris Pratt is the singer out of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, you know what? I don't know who else would do it because it doesn't seem like Aubrey Plaza's character would do it. I've seen the memes, I've seen clips of the show, so I'm not like totally living under a rock. But like, I know Aubrey Plaza, and like, yeah, she kind of sang in. No, she didn't sing in Agatha All Along. She performed at the D23 though. That's what it was. But it kind of makes sense that she's not it. And then Leslie and Adam Scott's character, like they don't seem like performers really.
Yeah.
And then Nick Offerman.
It's just Nick Offerman.
It's just Nick Offerman.
Oh my God, you got introduced to Tammy and then Tammy 2, which you didn't get to see.
No, Tammy 1. I didn't
Tammy
get to
1
see.
and yeah, Tammy 2.
And
Tammy 2 is a
2.
librarian. It's a whole thing. The library. Oh my God, you got to watch the show. But also something else that's really interesting about Andy Dwyer performing at this festival is that a lot of the stuff that happened before this is that his character was sort of this like bum, wants to be in a band, kind of doesn't really try type of boyfriend. he actually was with Ann Perkins. What's her name? Oh my God, I can't think of anyone's actor names.
Rashida Jones?
Rashida Jones. In season 1, they were dating.
Oh.
Yeah. So, to see him be like a bum to like actually being able to like perform at a kind of a big venue, at least for the town, is like some character arc too for him too. So like,
Good for him.
it's fulfilling too in the
Yeah.
show.
I'm calling it. I think we're done with this extremely long episode, but hey, episode 550, we have to celebrate it, right? What do you all have to plug or promote? Let's do a roll call.
So, I'm dean for the performing arts at Five Towns College. I oversee music, music ed, graduate studies, audio, and theater. So there's a lot on my plate. But the school is a creative arts school, and I would love it if people could just follow them on Instagram and all the socials. Five Towns College in Dix Hills, and great place to be, a nice small community, and highly recommend anybody thinking about going back to school. It's the place to go. We do have graduate programs, and our DMA program is pretty killer. So,
good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So I am doing my should we call it a residency at the Stonewall? Because it's a consistent thing. Has now moved to 2 performances a month.
Oh shit! So this is coming out in June. Do you know the themes for?
I don't. Well, June will be Pride, so I will be glittering and be gaying at the Stonewall All Stars. I will be glittering and be gaying. That should be the last Monday of the month. I don't think there's any holidays or anything that would shift that.
No.
But I don't know what the show for Broadway show is going to be. I mean,
Instagram will.
But Instagram, I clearly I will Instagram threads. But follow me on Instagram, and you'll see and also like videos from performances that we've done at Stonewall and whatever other nonsense I'm doing. You will find.
I have Crushgasm. Probably later this fall, I'm going to spend all summer listening to a lot of boy band singles, and I'm actually ranking them. I have a whole system. It's crazy, and I have points and everything. I have an Excel sheet. So pretty soon, I will have guests on. I'm not going to reveal the whole order, but I'll tell you, you'll tell me what song you want to come on to defend, or maybe kind of agree with me and where it landed in this list. And everyone's like, you're going to do the Backstreet Boys, you're going to just say they're better. And I'm like, no, I'm being totally honest, because they're like, if you love something, you can admit its faults. And Backstreet Boys singles have a lot of them. So, yeah, they're not doing as well, and that's where I started. But they have a 30-year career, so I'm still in Backstreet Boys at this present moment. So, and then I'm going to be writing more like pop culture essays. I'm trying to get into that field a little bit more. I'm going to discuss like psychology of pop culture, Swifties and MAGAs. Is there a connection there with fandoms and cultums? Let's talk about it. But yeah, all that coming up soon. Thank you.
Well, if you want to hear me talk a little bit more about Riverdale, you can check us out over at The Aficionados, wherever you listen to podcasts. John is there sometimes. We're on season 3 now. And if you just want to see what I'm watching, reading, you can follow me personally at Serpent Lady on Serialized, Letterboxd, and Goodreads.
Well, I do have an album out, which I've mentioned previously. The album is called Matters of the Heart, and you can find it anywhere you get your music, Spotify, I would say iTunes, but I think iTunes is now Apple Music. I don't understand.
It is still iTunes, because years ago when we started this, I definitely bought it off of iTunes.
Okay.
So and iTunes is still around, but I'm assuming people can stream it on Apple Music.
Yeah, you should be able to stream it.
But you should buy it off of iTunes.
Buy it. For sure. Or if you see me in person, I have physical CDs that are just kicking around. Buy one. And then also you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Dianastasia, DianaStasia. That's a lot of A's. And you can see what upcoming stuff I have going on.
I am so glad you asked. I have some upcoming shows in June for Pride Month. I have a show on June 10th at the Producers Club at 9 p.m. for Soup of the Day. And then I have another show on June 13th at Brooklyn Art House at 4 p.m. for hot takes and nerdy topics, where I will be discussing Broadway shows. So definitely come to a show. We also have monthly laughter party. So stay tuned on my Instagram for that at Schleebelee, and hope to see you there.
You can check us out at Film Rage YYC at every social media place that is, I guess, worth seeing. We have a website, filmrageyyc.com, where you can see every movie we've ever reviewed, which is in the thousands. We see almost every movie that comes into cinema. So if you want to know what we think about it, you can check it out there.
So we have my Charmed podcast, Words of the Witches, where we cover all Charmed published media. And currently we're covering the magazines associated with a UK DVD collection. So it's the closest thing to a rewatch. We're covering the articles in the magazine, but also the episodes in order. So it's kind of a fun little...
I'm still waiting for my golden ticket to come on.
Yes, come on during this. This is the perfect time to come on. We got to find which episodes are your favorite. Which season is your favorite?
The original 3. Any of the original 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will look to see where there's some space and we can bring it in. That'd be really fun.
You can just follow me on my TikTok at, I think it's Lauren with an X instead of an A. Same thing on Instagram. And if you want, you can follow my podcast accounts as well at Mom School Podcast and Cinema Sisters. No, oh my God, that's so not right. And Black Girl Diaries podcast. This is how many names we've gone through. You can keep that in.
I will.
Right now I'm on sabbatical for Hell is a Musical, but you can listen to our old catalog of that and Writer's Bagel Basket. When Scary Met Stabby is we're going back in the studio to record, so follow that social. And over the summer, Johnny and I are releasing a podcast. So
we are? Oh, news to me.
You're so full of shit.
I would say give to your local food bank, because there are going to be lots of things happening in the coming months, and be sure you're helping your neighbors in need.
Well, if the contract has been soon signed, I am going to go up to Barnstormers Theater and perform in the show Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, as well as Eureka Day for a couple of weeks. So I'll be there June. I don't know performances, but I'll be there rehearsing starting mid-June and then performing until July.
Well, I have to plug the fact that I'm going to Ireland in about less than a week and a half. So maybe I'll go collect some Irish cast recordings of shows. Who knows?
Wait, of us recording or of the release date?
Us recording. Like, so literally a week and a half from
today
today when we're recording this, I'm going to Ireland.
Oh, you're going to have so much fun.
And because of a snafu and some horrible things that I fell victim to, I have to go to Miami tomorrow to renew my passport. So I'll be in Miami for a few hours. So maybe I'll try to take some pictures.
See if you could find a production of Henny Penny.
Of Henny Penny,
somewhere.
Yes, a local, find a little elementary school end of the year show, exactly. But my biggest plug is always go support your local music stores, bookstores, all that kind of stuff. Please do. Order through them if your bookstore doesn't have them. Book whatever you're looking for, order through them. Try to avoid going through Amazon and other major players like that.
Yeah, so again, I'm the co-host of Not My Fantasy Podcast with my friend Cullen. Again, John has been on the podcast. Go check out our episode on The Bride. So that's a non-musical one if you want to go check that out. We also did Hercules, the animated Disney movie. And this summer, we are celebrating Swords and Sandals. So if you want more musical episodes, we did The Prince of Egypt. And then non-musical stuff, we're doing Clash of the Titans. We did Troy, which fucking rocks. And yeah, so come check us out. We are also on Instagram, Not My Fantasy Pod.
I mean, if you didn't listen to episode 50, 500 episodes ago, we've done 4 other moments. So go back and listen to that and then listen to this and let me know what you think. And if you want to be part of the next episode's conversation, well, we will be back to our regular scheduled programming, and we will be discussing suffs. Everyone, thank you for 550 episodes. This means a lot to me. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy it. Bye for now.
Special thanks to Aaron Choi for creating the pod's artwork and to Nick Bombasino for composing the theme song and the jingles. A huge thank you to CastBox for hosting this podcast. And thank you again for tuning in to today's episode of Life's But a Song. Bye for now, everyone, and have a musical day.
Congratulations on 550 episodes. What a monument. Congratulations.
Thank you.